Alright, hello everyone! It is Wednesday, my dudes. We're going to be playing more Nebulous Fleet Command. We played this a little bit on Monday, had some good matches. Now we're coming back for our usual kind of Wednesday time bracket. Gonna just hop right into multiplayer, look if there's any lobbies up. We see area official number 2. Ooh, Hellstack Silver only. That is tempting right now, but I think we're just going to warm up with area official number 2. Hop in here. We got a full ANS team. Alright, well that's fine. We can play on the OSP side. Just have to decide what we want to play. Got our usual couple mixtures of fleets and stuff. Had a little bit of fun doing a centerpiece fleet like this. This is a nice little 450 combo, though 450 struggles a little bit against some of the bigger ANS capitals right now. For some reason, you just can't quite seem to reach deep enough for that 450 AP to really hit their big important components like the drives and reactors and stuff. Got some things like big game hunting over here, which is a mixture of railguns and mass drivers, which is a little bit, well, it's a little bit cheesy in some ways because, I mean, the rail settler is kind of a meme, but running this combo, it's also kind of not. It's an interesting little bit there. We've got our plus bricks, which is just a bunch of plasma, T30, and other goodies. Actually, I'm going to take a look at this one because I haven't run a brick fleet for a long time. I do like my bulk raiders quite a bit. I've just not had a good success rate with using like a monitor swarm because this is the kind of, I wouldn't say like the standard monitor formation, but you'll oftentimes see people set up like 4 or 5 monitors kind of in either a block shape or a plus sign like this. I think that it's serviceable because they are tough little things. Like if we take a look at these, you can get a Citadel Mag and a damage control complex in these, and that is incredibly tanky. So the berthing in as well. If you can, probably an Ox steering would do well. We're a little short on crew, but that's okay. A reinforced CIC, very safe in the back here. I give these things sun drives, which might be a mistake. I do like just how fast they can get going because we see we've got our power just perfectly balanced here with 3 rapid cradles. That way we can unload the auto loaders on the plasma cannons and the T30s incredibly quickly, trying to really go for that burst damage angle. I went for the rapid cycles because they buff everything here. I could probably go with ammo elevators instead and get better success rate, but there's part of me that just wants to see how fast I can dump my like front loaded bursts and stuff. So might change that out. Not sure. I mean, the ammo elevator, if we look at it, costs the same amount of points, takes the same amount of power, probably boosts our DPS. We've got the extended stats mod here, so we can take a look at that. Let's see, C56. Recycle time is incredibly short. 66% reduction means that this thing is basically dumping its autoloader in like 3 times the speed it normally would. So very much liking how rapid cradles stack. I believe that the first one gets you 25% reduction, so that's 33% increased effective fire rate. Then the next one, if we just take one of these out, I can actually show y'all. And we see it takes it down to close to 50%, so that's almost doubling. So essentially, your effective fire rate goes from 33% bonus to 100% bonus, and then it should be like 200% bonus in terms of the way these stack up. So quite cool with that, but again, that's just how fast you empty your autoloader. So once you've emptied the autoloader, then it's the case of waiting for that long reload cycle to go through. If we give this thing a ammo elevator or 2, and see, so that fire rate, well, we could just compare and contrast across these. So over here, we see the fire rate is 13. Whereas this one, it's getting closer to 14. So if we switch over to another ammo elevator, we'll see it's even further raised up there. So that is not a huge difference, actually, if we compare that. So let's just flip between these two. I'll go with an ammo elevator on this thing. This is about 14, versus this is about, like, what would you call that? Like a 0.25 increase. So that's not huge. And you consider the amount of burst difference we get. Like, we're either getting a 33% bonus to our burst, or we're getting a 100% bonus. That's a pretty sizable difference there compared to the small increase we get. So we might end up going like that. They might be changing the map, so we will just have to hurry up with this. I could go triple ammo elevator, which I believe will get me less fire rate, if I'm correct here. Let's double check on that. The math of Neb is kind of cool to see, so swap over here, rapid cycle cradle. Yeah, so you see that 2 rapid cradles with an ammo elevator is actually lower rate of fire, like here, but it's only marginally lower. Then we compare this to having the ammo elevator over here. You can see our reload time is reduced, our rate of fire is slightly increased because the recycle time changes. I think that I want to go with like 2 rapid cradles because that dumps plasma as fast as possible, and then the ammo elevator is our way to play. Go see if I can't get that set up for all of these. Let's see, just ammo elevator down the mid section. You see we have an ammo elevator tucked in the back of this one. So that will actually be taking us up to 2 ammo elevators and 2 rapid cradles, which is a better ratio. So, yeah, it's a bit of an investment going with it like that style. I believe that that's just better for the plasma cannon because, again, plasma, it's sort of binary in the state of something is either plasmid or it's not, if that makes any sense. It's like you don't get any benefits after you strip off all the armor to a certain degree. Gonna ask them 1 sec, please. I can see the lobby is filling up. I just want to finish off this thing. I'm not sure how I feel about just running Sun Drive. We're going to try it. It might be a little risky. If I have to take off the Sun Drive and instead go with like the Yard Drive, which is a little better, or I can go with the Reinforce as well for that extra juicy hit points and stuff. The Yard Drive is nice because damage threshold of 40 along with the 20% component damage reduction here. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, 20% DR. That means that we hit that perfect 50 damage breakpoint, so HEI missiles will not destroy our drive. However, the Sun Drive is kind of a gamble on taking on these, seeing if I can't make them go faster. The idea is that we're pointing the front of the ship towards the enemy so that they will take a bunch of damage there and not get the drive hit. This may end poorly. We're going to find out. Either way, I'm just going to reveal my fleet to the team. We've got ourselves a container liner here for nice long-range support. We've got ourselves an Ocello. Love to see at least one Ocello per team. The extra benefits you get from just having the antenna and other goodies that it brings is... well, I basically can't recommend it enough. We've got some Plasma T30 combos here. Love to see those as well. I forget if they're called obelisks or like towers or depending what you want to call them. Basically, they stand straight up and then they go pew-pew, and it's very nice to see. So, got ourselves a nice little bit of stuff here. Playing with a team of blue, so I'll have to try and guide them where I can. Not to say that they're bad players, but they've just played a little bit less Neb than some of the other people, so a little bit of advice in the right direction is the best thing I can hope to give. Yeah. Again, I have been floored by blues multiple times, where they just happen to pull off a way cooler play than I could ever make, and I'm like, huh, okay, you know what you're doing. So, in our case, we want to play kind of cagey and close to rocks, so I'm thinking I'll do kind of my deployment here, and then set up my shop, and then go from there. We're making blueberry jam, dog. Rolling through that. Yeah. So, I could do a big flank underneath, but that means that I'll be isolated underneath the A-Rock for a long time. I could potentially come up on another tight angle there, but that does give me a little bit of risk in that regard, because a beam destroyer or torpedo corvette could come down low and then scout me out and then also blast me at 6 kilometers, so that is a bit of a thing to consider. I'm pretty sure that I'll just deploy over here. We can then cap out the stuff there, and I can then try and like kind of climb up this rock and threaten, or I can stop any push they might make towards the E point. So that's kind of my idea. These are sun drives, so I can get places faster than I would normally be able to. Alternatively, I could try and... Oop. Okay, never mind. That's just a joining player who disconnected. We actually had the full lobby still up. I thought somebody had disconnected inside the lobby, which is rather unfortunate when it happens. It means basically everyone just hits retire, and then you queue up once again and get everyone back sort of in the lobbyists. But yep, I'm going to give them a good luck, have fun, and all that, and we'll see where we go from here. So, I've not run my bricks like this for a while. I'm going to see how well they do. I included a little jammer shuttle along with these because I found that I very much enjoy having radar jamming when I'm in that close range. Oop, about right. Hi, hello, awoe to you, 7. We do the old awoe 7 salute. Salute! Anyways, we're dropping into pillars here now, so we've got ourselves a little plus-shaped fleet here. We're going to set the formation to go like this. Weapon control set to hold. Point defense turrets are going to be set to dedicated only. As you can see, our ally moving there instead to cap. So they've got themselves the MCRN tag. They got that 250 along with, let's see, what are these? Plasma T30. Nice. So we can benefit from their plasma strip as well. Any target that has been stripped of its armor by plasma fire is going to be good for us. We have got ourselves plenty of plasma strip in the form of either our turret or our spinal gun. I will admit, I'm not really a big fan of the spinal gun plasmas. Oh, actually, I did take this off in this iteration. So the reason I'm not a huge fan of the spinal plasma is because it is sort of a damage over time. Where is it? It is this one. Yeah, so this thing is steady fire rate. It fires like one shot every 12 seconds compared to our plasma turrets up top here, which fire a burst of 8 shots, and then they had to spend a long time reloading. So I'd much prefer that because it means that I get a lot of plasma out very quickly. So we multiply this by the fleet, so we get 8 times 4, so we have 50 shots worth of plasma. No, 40 shots worth of plasma. Math is hard right now, apparently. So we're able to then deliver a whole bunch of purpley goodness into the enemies, and with any luck, that means that we are able to strip off all of their armor and then get into their internals using a combination of our C56 spinal gun here. Nice little double barrel, you can see there, illuminated by the thrusters. And then we've also got the T30 down below to try and sweep up other assets. I feel like monitors are better run as like an escort, or you want them to be kind of an independent ship. They have good enough mounts that you can run them kind of on their own. Like, if I want to, I could tuck a little monitor here, lay some mines, and then go off and hide behind here, versus like the kind of frontline engagement fleet I feel is better suited for both freighters, just due to their extra sort of, I don't know, like, they have better mounting, it feels like, and they've just got generally a whole bunch of stuff going for them. I don't think that monitor frontline is bad. You do trade a little bit because you are going for a swarm. I feel like just swarm gameplay like this isn't quite it. You can hide better behind jamming, which is one big thing that I'm trying out. So I've only got one jamming ship. I might upgrade that to 2 by trimming some budget. This is fairly cheap as far as investments go. I've got 2 jammers here and 2 rapid lockers, so I'm pretty sure that thing only comes out to like, what? Ooh, that's a big missile strike. Okay. Those are ARAD Act. The dildo of consequences, eh? Alright. So, ARAD Act we can deal with. We can jam those from afar, making them stage onto other things, and we can also pop chaff and shut off our radars to evade them. So, we already know how to counter those. That's the other nice thing about this ship. Because it does not have a radar, I don't have to worry about toggling that on or off. I just have to hit the jammers and then cease fire if I need to. So, anyways, we're going to be moving ourselves up here a little bit because our ally is covering down low. Our goal is to try and find a close angle, possibly a ship to threaten over here or over here. We are lacking situational awareness on the left side, so that is a concern. If I were to peek that right now, then it's possible that there might be a pair of Axfords or a battleship or something else watching this flank that then wants to come over here. I know that the outside D to, like, sort of top of E rock push is fairly good. I'm just going to see what we can do here. And adjust our formation ever so slightly. The 8-1 going to take a little bit of time to remove itself. There we are. So you can kind of see we've got this vaguely plus-shaped formation thing going. I'm just trying to find a position where I am relatively unseen, and then I can adapt from there. So we've got some decoy containers going out. We currently have a 2-cap versus their 2-cap, so everything is sitting neutral right now. We're just going to see how the game develops. We see these monoliths, indeed. Maybe that's what they call it. I've heard these called monoliths or obelisks. You can see them using the top side, where normally you would have point defense turrets and stuff. These are now the top side guns. You can actually get another gun if you get the flat sort of front section, although in this case they've gone for the pinpoint radar. I think that's a pretty good idea as well. When you have these set up like this, you do get a little bit of convergence issues because these topside guns are spread further apart than these front ones. So sometimes they can end up masking against targets within like 4 kilometers or so. Just something I've found running it. So personally, for when I try and run the obelisk like this, I prefer doing the like short and flat one. That way I've got all my guns kind of in a line. I've got my aiming, C53 here, and then just everything kind of works out. Plus it lets me get actual point defense on the top and bottom there. So you see they also went for the redundant antenna. That's another part of doing this. You want the antenna to be not destroyed, because when you have the antenna mounted topside, I don't know exactly where it is there. You can kind of see that. That thing's hitbox. Oop. Uh-oh. Missiles. Okay, there we are. We are going to attempt to jam those like so. Bloop. So I don't know if that'll work. We can see that there is some fire coming from up here, so I'm going to make an attack ping roughly where I think that is coming from. Give or take up here-ish. There we are. Oh, I was pretty close. Okay, so we can see the enemy is over there now. Right. Okay, we're going to disable our hold fire. I just realized that we were doing that. That's why we weren't jamming. Okay, so number 4 has been scouted out. What does that mean? That means that somebody over there has been able to see us. We do not have extra signature size. That means there must be something up top. We're going to burn through, see if we can sweep them on 10 kilometers. We cannot. All right, so they're seeing number 2 and number 4. So just by extrapolation, I can guess that there's something over that direction. So we're going to instead hug close to the rock. They will see 2 things here briefly, so we're just going to try and get away from that. Looks like there's a bunch of big missile volleys coming off here, a bit of RPF as well. Looks like these are just going to get trimmed out here, unfortunately. Yeah, so they had some high-up assets, a bunch of size 2 missiles. If I had to guess, that's probably like some frigates and stuff, so nice little offside scouting on their part. All right, we have a target over here, which I'm going to attack marker ping. I don't know what it is, but just by the positioning, I'm going to guess it's fairly sizable, kind of moving forward. Let's see if we have some intel. Oop. Wait, what? Oh. Okay. I see. That's unfortunate. Well, we are currently down 3,000 points. That's not good. Okay, we're going to have to just try and work off that. Crap. Right. So in this case, this is what happens when you pay basically no PD tax. They have a anti-missile launcher here, I believe, but they might not have brought them. Don't see any big point defense turrets. Move up to getting hits. A second, yeah. So in that case, this is what happens when you like stay static. Missile players will decide where you are and then try and adjust there. In this case, I've just been hugging this rock, trying to wait for a situation to develop that I can take advantage of. I'm going to let my other frontliners here, who have a little bit better range than I do. Maybe not, actually. They are also limited to that 8-kilometer bracket. We're going to see if we can't fire on this thing here. So I'm going to have everyone hold fire. We're going to switch over and get our plasma going. I think we'll get AP rounds loaded. I'm assuming this thing is, in fact, big. So we are just going to lock on. We're short a little bit of power, but that should be fine. Just going to move ourselves into position as best we can. Let's see if I can't also get better corner peeking potential, like so. That way I don't have to present as much of my fleet around.
Understood.
And then as for number 6, you are going to be able to just kind of hang out back here-ish. There we are. So that will be a good enough formation for me, kind of able to peek around the rock here. I could do like a nice little 5-stack across the top, but, oop, incoming. So we're going to jammer those. There we go. Actually going to lock onto this thing and jammer the last one. See if I can't get those. Any jamming? Maybe container liner in this case getting caught up by missiles. I think we got some of them on chaff. There we are. Oh, crap. Okay, so we tried to see if we could support them. Looks like they got a reactor drive cook-off, so the container liner in this case caught in open space. I think they might have seen either a radar emission or something else with it. In case we just need to adjust formation so we can get ready to peek around the rock here and engage whatever this is. Gonna signal it as a priority. It's moving back now because it's... Oh, no, it's not. It's just moving upwards. Okay. So in this case, we're going to play that little flank roll that we were talking about, try and get ourselves in position here. They have scouted us out, so we need to engage now. And we're going to get missiled in a second, if I had to guess. Yep, there's that enemy scout coming up here, so we have to deal with that in a sec. I'm actually going to move my fleet upwards just to try and take that out instead of engaging on this thing. So let's see if we can't engage our jamming. Come on, buddy. Just need to fire there.
Spiker in play.
I just have you fire all the jamming I can onto whatever those are. Those are probably going to be missiles coming around from the side flank. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get them or not. I'm going to activate our burn through again, trying to spot them. There they are. So need to just hit our flank thrusters here. Go, 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 go as best we can. See Sarissa fire, I believe, going off there. So we're trying to... Oh, unfortunately, those will be EO validator, and we don't have our jamming in arc. We tried, but I don't think that we're going to be able to save our container liner. Damn. All right. So instead, we're going to fire our jammers over in this direction here-ish. About, I don't know, there looks good. There we are. That should hopefully make that thing... Yep, see it briefly flashing there. I believe that was a scouting asset that we were shooting, so we're going to instead fire on this one down low as well. Fire our bottom jammer like so. So we're going to try and jam that. With any luck, we will be able to get... Oop. I need you to battle short, please. Oop. Hi there. Oh, okay. We got briefly a shot or two into them. So we're going to, let's see, have you on fire those vectors, please. Top jammer, I need you over there. And then bottom jammer, I need you over this away. And I need to burn through here. Yep. You would be so kind. Thank you. I have the attack markers roughly where I think the enemy is, and I'm hoping that I'm able to get them here. Gonna try and engage with the grape shot here. About to get hit by missiles incoming here, so this will be fun. I need to shut off my radars. Yoo! Gap time. There we are. A bunch of them ran out of juice. Okay. This thing is not doing its job, so we just need to turn on our radar and see where we can get them. Yeah. There you are. So I know there's something over here. I just can't quite get to it, which is rather annoying. They have offside scouts, and I don't have the tools I need to sweep them. So, we're going to try and take this thing out. I can see the front line engaging, but I don't believe that I will have a shot. Maybe I will, actually. You know what? We're just going to accept that we're on track and go with that. Okay? Okay, so everybody, let's go for him. You can see there's a rather big target here, so we're going to just have everyone fire on target like we had originally planned and see where we can go from there. Okay? Okay. Everybody lock on. Let's go. In this case, want to keep you from burning yourself up too much, so we're going to turn off flank on that. Shouldn't need it. There we go. Set our heading and stuff. We are heavily behind because we did lose a fleet originally. Actually, we lost 2 fleets, so I don't say that we have very good favorite odds here. I'm betting they have a beam destroyer in the usual spot. Yep, unfortunately, just going to get toasted here. So, kind of wish I brought a different fleet. I want to try a little bit of frontlining stuff here, but in this case, it's going to be not doing so great for us. Going to have to fire jam. I'm going to get time on targeted here, I can already tell, so we're going to have to turn this off and go from there. Gonna have to set a jammer in this direction, and then I'm gonna have to pop all the chaff that I can. We are. In this case, we see big volley coming in here. As for you, I need jamming to please hit this direction. Thank you. This way, we should be able to get all of them jammed, I hope. And cease fire. There we are. That should all go with the chaff clouds. Yep. You love to see it. Haha. So we got most of those out of the way. Unfortunately, one of our ships does take a hit. We can turn our radars back on now and fire on target. Going to just do that with everything and fire. I hope. Okay, your comms got hit as well as your sun drive, so I'll have to deal with that. Fix the reactor as well. As for everyone else, just fire for effect, I guess. There we are. So in this case, we got command types coming in. Number 6, unfortunately, our jammer ship did get hit there, so not much we can really do about that. We're just going to have to fire what we can while we can. You see, oh, beams. Okay, crap. Well, I don't think that we're going to last very long against this. We're going to try and take it down with whatever we got. In this case, they have command guidance. I can't jam those at all. Just have to try and rely on point defense. Come on, buddy. Ouch. All right, well, we got what we got. I'm just going to fire everything I can. I'm not sure why I couldn't lock them at first. It wasn't letting me originally. Maybe I just got masked there. These are Heck P by the looks of it, judging how they've just torn us apart. So, yeah, that's less than stellar, to say the least. They're just firing off on us here. Yep, ouch. There's nothing I can really do to counter that. This is just a case of a comp issue in my part, so I just wanted to try out these. I'm also fighting with half the points I should against the Staculus, so, oh well, what are you going to do? You just take the roll how you can. We're just going to, like, tell them to fire everything. Honestly, this is just game because I have nothing to stop this BMAX for just rolling over me right now. Yeah, like, even if I order my ships to reverse, I've already been hex keyed and my jamming has been countered, so, yeah. Unfortunate. We are doing some plasma strip. Like, you can see the original idea I had was to inflict plasma stripping here and then try and follow up with a bunch of my smaller caliber guns. But that's kind of it, so, oh well. Yep. Yeah, unfortunately my ally is dead, so I'm just going to retire here. That's going to be game. So, oh well. This is, unfortunately, some of the things that happen when you try and play a game here. There's some people who just, well, you get a little bit of a stack to face off, and that's it. Yeah. So, oh well. We tried, we died, we got yub-nubbed in that. We'll just go into the next one and move on from there. So, let's see. There's the Perdido, I think that's how you say it, Perdicio, the procedural generated map. That's kind of cool. KFI has 3K on Tombstones. We're going to hop into that one and see if there's anything going on here. Load up the map. See if we can't get a better iteration of that fleet, because I did kind of want to try and play my brick fleet, although I can see there's a couple issues with it, namely that I only have one jamming platform. I do kind of like the idea of them. Yeah, try again in that. Yep. I try and explain what I'm doing. Even if I end up losing, I like to think that I presented a new idea here and experimented with some stuff. In that case, it was just kind of a comp issue where we didn't have nearly enough scouting assets. We all kind of deployed our little battle groups. Enemy had scouts, and they had a bunch of missiles, and we just didn't bring the correct counter in that case. So, oh well. I kind of knew what I was getting in for when I joined the lobby, and I saw a full ANS team already pre-made in that with some, well, just more experienced players than I was playing with. I don't want to call my teammates bad or anything. It's just that there is a factor of experience in Nebulous where you play enough games, you learn certain things and how to counter them, what to bring and whatnot. This is kind of a, I'd say this is not my greatest fleet. This is an experiment, so I'm just kind of messing around, having fun with it. I try not to get salty about losses. My consideration is that as long as I have tried something new and improved and just kind of gotten better at the game at the end of it, it doesn't really matter if I'm winning or losing. I mean, funny check mark next to your name that says W or loss or whatever. Like that can be like a nice way of validation and stuff, but you're only ever going to win half of your games on average, give or take. So, yeah. Got the 5 ships here. I'm debating whether I want to take like another jammer ship because I do think these are quite good. I could ditch my 5th of these and then try and run like that respectively. I think that maybe running 3 monitors, because if you think about the way this fleet works out, right? I've got the awkward kind of like plus shape to get around a corner. If I go with 3 ships, I can make them stack up very nicely. 3 is generally what I like to run for formations because you can get a nice vertical stack here. It's not too awkward to get around a corner. Like if I have these ones, I have to then make it a 5 stack, which is a little bit taller and wider and kind of awkward to play around with. And that you can get some bumping issues. The ships try and collide with each other. You also get this big plus shape, which means that if you engage, you can engage like with this one, with these 3, you can have your jammer show up, and then the last one is going to be hidden behind the rock, and you have to awkwardly position that. So, yeah. We tried to adjust it there, where we put it on the one side and the other, but I think that maybe dropping it down to like 3 monitors and then going for like a bit of other mixed fleet could work as well. Idea being primarily that monitors, they don't take any damage from 120, which is kind of nice. They just have more armor than 120 has penetration. 48 centimeters versus the maximum of 45 centimeter penetration with the 120 AP shell. So they're largely immune to that. I believe also that the high explosive for 250 is not enough. Yeah, so these only have 40 centimeter armor pen. So they're immune to 120, 250 HE doesn't really do anything against them. 250 AP has the penetration to get through, but you will end up just hitting singular components, and sometimes you can strike into something like the C56, which has 350 health here. So this can get knocked out, but it has a respectable amount of health, plus then you'll struggle to try and like really splash out all the stuff here. These side mounts are deceptively tough because they are very small, so we like having those. Yeah. I don't think that it's necessarily a bad fleet. I'm just not sure if Monitor Blob is necessarily the go-to fleet. I've experimented with it a little bit and found that to be, I don't know, it just like seems like one of those things where if you want a frontline, then the bulk freighter is kind of more built for that role. Versus this seems like, basically these things come at like half the price of a bulk freighter. If we take a look at the blank hull, the cargo feeder costs 175, bulk freighter is 350. So if we want to just, do our plasma DACA frontline, then that is our tool. But again, nice to experiment with a little bit of tricks and toys and whatnot. So yeah, we're loading up onto tombstones now. Going to see how we go with that. See them changing the vote over to 1,000 victory points. I'm not sure what it was before, but I think 1,000 is about the standard kind of for our control mode. Yeah. I'm looking forward to Conquest because apparently we're going to use the Tug of War setup for that. Tug of War being, so it compares the points where instead of, like, let's say if we have 2 capture points, the enemy has 3 capture points. Instead of us getting 4 every, point tick and them getting 6 every point tick, they will only get 2. The idea being it's just the team that has, like, the advantage over is the one that starts earning points. Versus just, like, hey, let's just, tick up and then see if we can finally, like, end up who has the most score. Because I have weaseled my way to a win where I only had, like, 1 or 2 ships left over. And I just barely managed to get that back cap, winning by, like, 2 or 3 points. And that felt a little cheesy compared to the other side having, like, full military assets, still able to get things that just weren't in the right places. So kind of looking forward to that. Tug of War is a lot of fun for the times that I played it. So yeah. Conquest also looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So looking forward to things just in general there. Yeah. Take a big sip of water there. So I'm still kind of like thinking, I always think of the cargo feeder as an escort, and I think the cargo feeder is interesting because of the little things you can do with it. As you can see, we're just a little bit over our crew count here. We are over our power count, actually. Let's see, why is that? Because this thing was working before. Bulwark Huntress, maybe? No, Sun Drive, was it? Was it because I included a drive? I swore I had this thing working earlier. I don't know why it doesn't now. Okay, strange. Pinpoint radar. Maybe it's the plasma turret is just too much. I guess I could swap down to a T-30 and rely on my other ships for plasma. I think that's probably the easiest way to go about it. Yeah, there we go. That solves our power issue. Oh, it's the reactor. That's what it is. So we'll just load up the fleet once again. OSP, and we'll go for the plus bricks as they are in a plus formation. We'll just swap from a civilian over to a boosted reactor. There we go. That will solve all our power issue. That's probably why we couldn't get pinpoint log last game, because I forgot to, I probably had set the reactor wrong because I hadn't included the Bulwark Huntress yet. So that makes a lot more sense. These are running just barely on the right amount of power with the boosted. Yep. So everything here kind of checks out. Ithacas and whatnot. We've got some Grazer point defense as well as the Pavis. Grazer very nice at shooting down missiles, although in that case last game we were just a little bit over missiled at the time. We got a big strike coming around our backside, and then we had some of the direct ones coming into our face, and we just didn't quite have the tools to counter it. Although in this case we do have 4 Grazers within the fleet by the looks, so it's pretty nice to have, really. Let's see. Why is... No, okay, everything's the same there. So there's just 4 clones of the same ship. I still feel like I should be running just bulk freighters if I want to do a frontline fight like that, but we'll see where we go from there. In this case, another lobby queued up. We're going to go into tombstones now. Got ourselves a whole bunch of bulk freighters and whatnot. I feel like I should be playing a cap fleet, but again, I want to try and experiment and do a little bit of stuff besides some of my usual fleets. I do have a nice one, which has an Ocello centerpiece, which gives me very good support to the team, which actually, you know, if we're going to go with that, I think that we will play our centerpiece fleet. So we'll swap over to that, wherever it is. This is centerpiece, so the idea is it's got cannons, and then I've got just jamming and then 2 little cap fleets. But we also have the capper variant of it, which should be, where is it? Great value, yes. So the idea of the great value is that it is what the name implies. We have great value. We've got 5 little naked cap shuttles, and then 2 of them actually have radars, acting as my little offside scouts. Love them. We then have a pair of multi-mission tugs, which just kind of can guard our points. I was thinking about swapping these over to mine layers, because after playing with the missiles last game, I was a little bit disappointed by them. I think I actually will go about doing that. So the idea of just having the jamming as the offset is pretty handy. I guess we can swap our MLS to... Yeah, we put the jammer there, we'll put like a mine layer down here and just fill out the magazine with stuff. So let's go about doing that and see how much that'll run us on budget. Actually, now that I think about it, I could just go double Pavis on these. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll put a VLS on top, and then we'll put a mine launcher on the bottom. We'll get rid of these little thunderheads that kind of are just chilling. We'll go with, I think it's 10 sprint mines we could fit. Okay, so not quite enough space there. We're a little bit over on crew as well, but I think that's fine still. Tell you what, we'll try doing this with a bulk magazine. See if this works. So this might be a little silly, but we can make it happen, Captain. All right, just go with 3 types of ammo, our 20 mil slugs, and then I believe 10 sprint mines. There we are. Set these 250 rounds should be enough for all of our offensive abilities. There we are. And then this can be, we'll say, 10,000, like so. Oop. Okay, so we're just a little short. We can drop that down to that much. Then the launcher here. Oop. Just gonna ask them 1 sec while I do a last second fleet edit and go from there. Add ourselves, I think some chaff will be good. The ceremonial arming missile, of course. I feel pretty good about that. 300 points seems pretty nice. So just change these over a little bit as well. Going for some mine laying here. The V's on here, and then we'll do the missile launcher down here. Idea being that we're going to set a little nest of mines, and then they're going to be very devastating for anything that walks into them. Let's see, just need to grab our same ammo count. I could probably clone... Actually, yeah, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to delete this one and just clone this guy over here, and then put him back into the formation the way we want. So the stuck honey is going to be the new choice here. So call this one MMT2. It's not exactly a multi-mission tug, but it's close enough for our purposes. Yeah. Give you as well a dummy missile, and then I guess we can upgrade something on our radar tug. So get them a little bit of chaff. Why not? We go 10 chaff on you, and then you can have 10 chaff as well. Screw it. We're just going to stuff this thing completely full of chaff, and there, and there, and there, and we'll take one off you for symmetry or whatever. This is just the cheap and dirty way of doing this because I know they are waiting on me. Yep, okay, you're back in the lobby. All right, we're ready. Let's go. Phew. I should edit those a little later. Probably going to put some offensive size 1 missiles since we had the points for them. I don't need that much chaff on all that stuff. So, might actually be better to negate some of the chaff. Oh, hey, Crystal. How you doing? You really not having a good time with your ex-manager. Ah, well, that sounds interesting. I'm guessing that you've got some... Actually, I don't know what you would have there. I know I've had some managers in the past who I have not had great relations with. These kind of people who I'd rather leave behind. But company policy can't provide a reference. Wow, really? Huh. That's, yeah. Well, luckily that's what coworkers are for, instead of a managerial type. So somebody who's like, yep, you did the stuff here. We can actually have you as reference. Yeah. I'm guessing the company policy thing is just an excuse. All right, so anyways, our strat here is we're going to lay 2 little nests of mines using our tugs. We're going to use our wise eyes in the scan and look for our situational awareness. Gonna be going up here's and up here's. This way we've got sort of offset scouting, able to see some of them. Oh, you want a meow? Okay, you'll get a meow. Lovely little cat boy noises. Anyways, we're going to try and rush onto the A point with one of our ships here. I think that we can just have some of these as, like, just scouters kind of kicking around the place. I do like having just 5 little, like, shuttles that I can throw at different points. It feels pretty good just weaving those around the place. They also act as pseudo-scouting because what happens is the enemy sees them and they can't resist shooting at them, so we'll just do that. Our main command ship is this Ocello. I'm deploying it center of the map. The idea of the Great Value is that it lives up to its name. It's got that lovely CR75 in the nose, which I cannot stress enough the effectiveness of when you're dealing with comms jamming. The idea being that we've also got this railgun to punish people who are battle tanking against us, and then we've got some 450 turrets, so we're able to provide effective fire support. We're going to just move into this little sort of like, what would you call this? Like, I don't know, kind of an armpit of this asteroid, and then go from there. MMTs are going to move their way up. Kind of a revamped version of the MMT. We're going to have our radar scouts kind of go off to the side like so and like so. Just have them running silent as best we can. These are just going to be hiding against little rocks while I wait.
Full power.
Idea being that these will eventually be in place to threaten back caps. We just want to get them all underway. I'm going to go for that A cap here. Not quite like that. There we go. So not expecting the A capper to live, but hey, if it does, it does. That's awesome. Just going to have you move onto the underside, I think, here. Let's see. Who doesn't have a move order? Number 6 does not. Okay, you're going to go over this away. So these are providing me situational awareness. Maybe not the best way of doing it, but at the same time, I do kind of enjoy just having like 7 shuttles that I can just throw at points. So very nice to have. As OSP, you generally can't have enough shuttles. They are just like a really good, cheap platform. And since you only need a shuttle with a missile launcher like this to cap a point, see this thing? It just has a single... Well, actually, you can't really see it, but... well, just pretend you can see it, okay? There's a missile launcher here. Take my word for it. You can see it right here. So in this case, the missile launcher has a single offensive missile in it. This thing costs 86 points on the dot, and that is the same capping power as a fully armed battleship. Yippee. See? Now you're gonna go screaming Angie Cat Girl. Ah, yes, Angie Cat Girl noises in that. I don't hear that enough, right? Anyways, I'm gonna set our ships to go here. I'm thinking, where do I want to... So I could lay a nest of mines over here, or I could lay them over here. I think I'll go over here. I'll show you what I mean by mine laying in a second once I get my ships rolled and orientated. So we're going to be capping this point out here, and then we'll have our heading set like here and our roll. We're going to do a technique that's called barnacling, or at least that's what I've been calling it, and I think it's been catching on. So, yippee, Catboy Trendsetter. All right, we've got ourselves radar tracks down there, so we're going to keep our offsets kind of going here. Maybe not the best way of doing scouting on OSP side. I think that like taking these and making them early warning radar tugs might be more effective. But at the same time, just in terms of price, these are only like 100 or so points, because we just got the Huntress on there, which is like 20 points. It's basically one of these like naked 86-point shuttles, but we gave it a radar, so the Bulwark Huntress is just 20 points. Gives me situational awareness where I need it. For example, I can burn through here, and I can see that there is in fact something on the B point, so we will keep our distance from that, like so. This will spot anything of sizable like dimensions. You see an early warning radar going off there.
Taking fire.
Oop. One of our ships taking hits here, so to be expected, we see a bunch of RPF rounds. We're going to try and YOLO onto the point. Probably not going to make it, just going to try and fix the CIC here as best as we can. We're expecting this not to actually get the point, but this does give us information. We know that there is a bunch of RPF rounds flying off of these, so I'm expecting most of these to be Voxels. Might be a couple of light support assets as well. Oh, one of them just shot their ally right there. That's funny. That's kind of hilarious. All right. Anyways, so we can see that there is a effective target here, so we're going to fire our rounds into it, like so. I'm going to mark that one as priority, since that is the threat we are deciding to engage upon. We have a pretty good engagement at 9 kilometers with the bullseye, but we also have a respectable track there. This one's kind of going off to the side, although it's firing smaller rounds. In this case, we're going to just fire, I think, armor-piercing rounds down the nose of this thing, trying, like, yeah, that is RPF of some sort. I'm pretty sure that is a CL. Okay. So we know that is there. Anyways, we are going to be laying our little nests of mines while we're here. The idea being that we have very little area exposed. If we just adjust like so. Our kind of concept here is that we want the enemy to come around the corner and then they get hit by mines. Oh, you can see here, already our Bulwark Huntress is paying its dues. We've gotten ourselves a scout out on a flank moving over there, so that is very good on that regard. We don't see too much down here, so we're just going to continue our advance low. In this case, keeping our distance where we can, but also trying to make an advanced piece happen. So we know that the enemy is over there. I believe that now we should be able to barnacle. Yep, so we're going to go ahead, fire our weapons with our sprint mine launcher like so. There we go. You see it laying a little bit. We're going to move this thing ever so slightly over so then we can lay more mines. Mines do not explode on contact with the surface, so now these are all surface mounted. In theory, these should all like send off at once, and that will be good. Going to have you set up roughly around here. I actually slid these a little too far, so I need to move back. In this case, we're going to do it the same way over here. Just going to fire our sprint mine launcher there. Then we'll move ourselves up ever so slightly. There we are. And we can actually do that over here. These should ideally all sprint at once. I think that one might not, so we'll just have to cope with that when it happens. The idea being that if they overwhelm on this flank, we'll be able to get them. In this case, we see that they have a Keystone just rushing forwards. Okay, that thing is going to heavily suffer here. We need to provide a lock to our team, as we are the centerpiece of the fleet, trying to be our command ship, as the name implies. Yeah, we've got a couple of little light cap assets. Going to have you lot moving around the outside like so. I can probably start threatening different angles here. Not seeing a huge salvo of missiles. Alright, so that is a threat to consider. We don't have that much awareness on this side of the map, so we'll just have to treat it with a little bit of caution and respect. We'll go from there. You can see one of our ships is unfortunately getting hit by RPF rounds, so we've established that there is in fact a pair of CLs on this side of the map. I'm going to signal this with an attack marker. Bit of an oops on that part. I probably should have moved that thing sooner, but hey, we take it either way. See, these are just barely like close enough, so we're gonna actually move up a little bit further, trying to keep ourselves out of their sort of line of sight. Just looking at them through the rock here, odd little clipping issue. Anyways, this thing is still technically alive, which is rather surprising. We're going to make sure that it is not. Yep, a whole bunch of grape shot flying into it now as the Dakka line ship tears up. So yeah, this is a thing I was talking about where you get like your line ship for your main firepower. You can have little escorts like this. These are pretty effective just for dumping plasma and staying alive in that regard, because as you see, they're trying to shoot them with RPF and just getting nothing done. I believe that we need to help out our teammate there as he's going to get jumped on pretty quick. We're just going to fire off the last of our sprint mines here now. And then, once we have done that, see, so just laying nice little nest eggs here. So these should, with any luck, catch somebody and have a very, very interesting time for them. Now we're going to clear these heading and roll orders and just have them move back like so. I'm actually going to set the heading over this way. This thing is not dead, but it's basically toast at this point. I'm hoping for a drive det here, so I'm just trying to keep this thing alive as best I can. Oop, there's the damage control teams. They're wasting a bunch of their time shooting at these, so with this, I'm able to keep a sort of lock on them from above there. Yeah. Let's see. Have I finished shooting over here? I believe that I have. We're just going to flip the map over like so and try and rally up with our team here. So we have gotten ourselves a little bit of forward motion. This keystone is, in fact, dead. Oh, we double-clicked it there. There we are. So our teammate Markday is killed right as we did. We're going to enable our battle short and then turn on our jamming and stuff here because I believe that we have incoming. Going to try and provide a defensive screen where we can. Let's see if this thing can't get over here. So, because it is our job to throw a naked shuttle onto the point whenever we believe that we can get a cap off. As we can see, they are still kind of hanging out on the other side there, so most likely not going to be able to get it. This is a bunch of missiles coming in here, so our goal is to get close to the Dakka line ship that we have as our ally here, and then we'll provide the point defense picket roll. We might be in range to laser those. Looks like they are hitting them. Yep, okay, there we go. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, able to finally shoot down some of the incoming missiles. Playing our point defense security roll. We need to make sure we do not get engaged over here because that would be very bad, so we're going to burn flank instead, making them think that we are something else. If these decide they want to come out and play, they're going to be in for a bad time. I believe our missile ship here, yeah, so they're taking some hits there. We're going to have to quickly rotate and engage on those. This one is massed against us, so we are not able to get a good hit. Want to keep my nose towards them in case they come out and play. Yeah, we're going to just try and move back onto the E point here. Going to turn off battle short and the jammer because we don't need it right now. As for you, you're just a little sweeper asset meant to kill light things, so we're going to keep you away. Same deal with you. You're just going to be over here watching this flank like so. And we'll just clear the roll. So this is a pretty secured flank. I believe that I might be able to snake a point cap here. So we're going to try it, just going under like so. There we are. And move you to here. That should hopefully not get spotted. They're kind of hanging out in the back line there. We're going to set that to flank speed either way. Our radar is going to try and like sneak around their backside, get ourselves some situational awareness there. You see one of our ships here is heavily crippled, technically not dead, although it has no ability to repair itself, so it is a bit of an unfortunate oops. In this case, we have a incoming target. Oop, Noodle Bowl has apparently surrendered. That was one of them, so that's very good for us. I don't know what this is, but it is looking sizable, so we're going to switch over to armor-piercing rounds and such. Change our heading onto it with any luck. See our floodlight firing off there. I don't believe that we'll necessarily need that, so we can just move ourselves back a little bit here. See, we are taking some rounds from the distance there. We're going to burn through and then set our blanket over that direction. That way we can hopefully get tracks on them. Unfortunately not getting that, but still, we have enough range that we should be okay. Taking a little bit of damage, but we're making it happen. So, gonna move back into the E point, trying to basically build distance between us and the enemy. Don't see them over there anymore, unfortunately, thanks to the jamming. So we'll have to adjust our jammer screen sensor thing again. Burn through, please. Again, we don't see them, so probably just out of our effective radar range. All right. We'll move back onto the point. The point should be fairly secured, and I believe that, yes, this flank has now been cleaned up. One of those ships is hard dead, and so is the other one. So we are up 3,000 points. Nice to see. Going to cease fire here so we don't burn out our jammer or anything like that.
Send your traffic.
In this case, we have got a angle here. These are flying high to cover the C point, but I believe that if I am good here, I'm able to ideally do this. Yeah, I should be able to just barely squeak onto the point like so. There we are. That'll be an awkward little angle for them to have to try and rotate to get to me at. In this case, I'm scouting them out with the offside radar here because they are fairly large, so we'll just move ourselves over, able to spot them thanks to the Huntress having a 10-kilometer range. As we can see, there's quite a lot of jamming going on. There's a target there. I'm not sure what that volley is. I'm guessing that is either an Axford or a battleship, just given the way it's firing. I want to say it's an Axford, given that it's also got missiles. You can see missiles on battleships, but it's not as common as you might think.
Awaiting orders.
It's a perfectly dead even game right now, but we are up 3,000 points, so we have to remember that. We don't want to make stupid mistakes. In this case, because I know that there is something over there that we need to scout out, going to start working those around as well. These are going to block most of our rotation path, so we're going to see if there's anything that we can quickly pull up in that direction. We know there's a ship there as well, so we'll have to try and evade that. I could potentially go for the A point right now, given that they are kind of pulled back a little ways here. But at the same time, if we take a look at one of these ships, right, like, let's just use this as a point of reference now. As you can see, they are still within 8 kilometers of the A point, so that is going to be a thing. That said, I'm pretty sure... Oh, never mind. Look at that. We're just pushing forward. Okay, yeah, it's time to go. Let's move. I need to start paying more attention. The Allied fleet's moving up here as I'm just rambling and ranting, and they are engaging against the light cruisers there. So that means that we are overdue for our advance. We need to try and get up there and help them out as they are taking the fight to the enemy. Multi-mission here is just going to be moving itself across. I don't want to expose to the light cruisers because I feel like they're going to smack me good. Yeah. That said, I believe that it is time to start working on the back cap angle. So we're going to move this thing up in kind of an awkward way here. We are going to get the C point there, but that's not what we are after with this one. We're just going to try and walk this thing up to the B point like this. Kind of a long roundabout way, but it'll get there eventually. There we are.
Force slate in.
All right. Probably could path that better, but that's more or less where we want it to end up, so we'll do that. Again, going to have the radar over here try and get a offside scout so we can be able to engage off that. I'm expecting them to be the main source of fire, so we're just going to move ourselves into the middle of the map. A lot of noise on this screen here, trying to keep track of all these different ships we got. In this case, we see the snowy T's over here is just barely outside the point. Should be there any second. There we go. So able to get the point here going. Ta-da. We were able to snake around. This is the benefit of having all of these little light assets. Okay, so we can see that the CLs are there. They're going to signal an attack marker here. Big old missile strike. I am pretty sure that those missiles here are worth more than... Wait, they're not going for me? Huh. No, okay, they are. So in this case, I'm pretty sure those missiles are worth more than my ship is. So if they end up hitting me, then that's fine. They appear to have whiffed. That's rather interesting. Okay. In this case, I'm going to keep ourselves kind of like at the edge of the map. They don't know that I'm over there, which is very nice. Here we can see the launching platform as well. Going to signal an attack marker there. One of those is got to be chaff. Oop. See if I can't click F on one of them. That one. So we know this is, in fact, the real one. Going to mark that as priority and start shooting it. We have confirmed it is, in fact, an Axford. So now that we have our target, we see a big old missile strike kind of whizzing by here. Act with wake validator. Ship is not moving, so it does not seem to validate in that case, just all going after chaff. Said we are going to turn off our flank thrusters because we don't really need them. We're just going to move ourselves onto the A point, sticking with our battle group here. I'm just going to preemptively turn on the omnidirectional jammer in case any command types want to fly our way. We're able to get a couple good hits in here. So this keystone is partially what we are also trying to insulate against using our multi-mission tug. The high explosive rounds are actually effective against the keystone, which is not something many people think about, because Keystones, you think it's a destroyer, it's a little bit of a larger hull class. They don't actually have that much armor. So, in this case, we see the Axford has decided it wants none of it. We're keeping them warded off in this quarter of the map. We divided and conquered. We're going to set our lock onto this ship instead, and we're going to fire high explosive into it. Pew, pew, pew. Unfortunately, it is through a rock there, but we are going to rally up with the rest of our formation. Like so, as you can see, we have captured the C point, and we're just going to sit here holding it. This way, if they want to, they can fire RPF, but there's a chance that I will cause a reactor drive bloom. Actually, no, we're going to start moving this thing off because I just want to keep a few assets alive. I have a backup in case I want to push that flank angle again, but, I mean, why lose an asset if you don't have to? Gonna set this thing to flank, just try and get out of there. Scoob. Bag. In this case, though, we are also pulling this thing out of position. There's a chance that we might be able to get a shot into it, so let's start rotating over to hit that. Gonna set ourselves onto the A point like so. Our team decided to move around. I'm fairly confident in our ability to move in here, so we're gonna try and do that. Let's see, this ship is still effectively dead. Let's see, this sprinter, I believe, is evacuated? Question mark. I can't tell. Oops. Okay, we're going to just go shoot that a little bit just to make sure. We're going to fire high explosive. Yes. So, now we actually have something for our multi-missions to do. We've got our points covered by these mines here, so that is handy. We're going to fire into this thing with high explosive as well. Ads? No, I don't want to run ads. Twitch, please. Okay, we're going to try and move ourselves upwards here, get ourselves an angle. In this case, that Vauxhall, unfortunately, not presenting an angle for us. Gonna set battle short on here, try and see our screen. I was not paying enough attention. Too many things happening as I talk about the video games, yes. Either way, we are providing somewhat of a centerpiece for our formations here. That Axford is coming out to play. We're going to fire the AP rounds that we have into it with the rail as well. Pew pew. Change our heading and whatnot. This way we get the point here. Going to turn off the jammer because I think that I am burning myself up here. Going to battle short as well. So we're able to hit this thing because we are not being jammed from that angle, so we are good there. We did lose the snowy trees like we expected, but we denied them the point for a while. In this case, the drama of Rosina is going to go up here, and then hopefully we'll be able to get onto the point. A little bit awkward pathing there. Keystone is not in position to actually beam us, which is a bit of a error on their part. We're going to try and move you up here as well. Hopefully keeping you just out of their range. I think that this will be fine, give or take. Don't have to be that far off, so we'll just have your heading set like that by default. As for you, this thing I think is dead. Yep, so we're going to signal this is killed, and you're going to cease your fire. Thank you very much. And then we'll have you just kind of as a topside sweeper here. In terms of combat assets, we only are really using like one thing here for combat. The rest of our fleet is just kind of chilling, hanging out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. We can move off of the A point here so we don't get hit in the broadside by those CLs, assuming that they do come out and play. Yeah. A bunch of our team has kind of gathered up down here for safety and protection. It does mean that we are hemmed in into like one location, but at the same time, we have the tonnage to eventually push on them. Radar number 2 over here needs to move up a little bit. They are detected, unfortunately, by that Vauxhall, but I believe that they are not shooting at us, so that is fine by me. I'm going to move it off to the side here a little bit. They might notice that, they might not. I want to get them just a little closer to those Vauxhalls. We're going to do just that. And they just crawl you up the side of the map there. That might be a little too close, actually. We will see. Either way, getting some jamming here. Going to provide a lock for our team because we see them all shooting at those. Just swap over here. AP rail salvo down the nose should work well. The Axford here decided to hop into cover anyway, so we were wasting our time on that. As for you, you're able to maybe get a shot on this thing. I think I can safely push out to the side here. I feel fairly confident in what we're doing, so we're going to play a little more greedy, getting ourselves 4 caps here. Yeah, you can see the benefit of the long-range bullseye lock. Our ships here, they have 8-kilometer maximum range. Their pinpoint locks only go out to 6.5. By being the sort of bullseye command centerpiece of this fleet, we're providing a lot of utility here, just making it so that they can get all that crippling damage out even further than normal. Plasma does have damage fall off, but at the same time, you're still hitting somebody with plasma. You see Stormfire has surrendered. Okay, who is that? That's one of them as well. I believe that might be the Axford. Don't hear anything. Okay. As for you, you should be able to hit that soon-ish, TM. Okay, so we have been locked over here, so that is a issue. I think the Axford might be going after us, so we want to deal with that. Yep, this thing is deciding to beam our little poor radar tug here. I say radar tug, it's actually a radar shuttle. Either way, that has paid more than its value. It has definitely gotten us the information we wanted. Oop, there's that drive detonation I was worried about. That might actually provide us cover here, as it will scramble their radars a little bit. Let's see. As for you, we want this thing to be locked and just fired upon. Thank you very much. Boom. They have multiple things going around. Not sure which fleet is left. Looks like the DRN tag is still alive along with the GDI tag, so we'll have to just play around that. Not the best positioning here. I'm not paying too much attention to my fleet currently. And see. So that one is already locked there. Let's try locking onto this one, being the long-range support asset that we are. So we can see that one now going behind cover, so it's not going to matter anymore. Instead, we will lock onto the threats that we can actually hit. Going to lock onto this Vauxhall here, since it is closest. Just kind of constantly changing my mind here. Yeah. You see our fleet able to move around and stuff. This way, we're able to keep them on track, so we're going to hold right here, exactly where we want to be. We have the ability to send another ship down there, so we're going to do just that. They're going to be a little too busy, I'm hoping, to shoot this thing down. Da-da-da-da, and then we'll just go along like so, and then on the point. As you can see, a lovely volley over into this thing. All the high explosive shots with the plasma strip. As you can see, we're getting some of our stuff shot here. They had to send a Vauxhall up to this point. We're going to try and get out of here like we did before, although probably not going to happen. Hit the flank thrusters just in case. There's enough RPF there that's not going to matter really, but hey, we can try. In this case, going to move over this direction as well. Kind of just, I'm confident we can just push them and win this fight. So yeah. Let's go about that. As you can see, once again, on the point up there, yep, unfortunately, we are heavily hit. But we had denied them a little bit of the cap timer. It's a 4-cap situation, so they're going to have to deal with that at some point or other. Let's see, multi-mission over here. Not really much you can do, I'd say. Actually, hello, you. You are a perfect target, actually. I want this thing to go into my sprint mines, but probably not gonna, unfortunately. So we'll move ourselves up here. Yeah. There's the beam trying to fire on something. I guess our missile ship? I don't know why our missile ship ended up there, but okay. Fair enough. Let's see if we can't push. I think we can just push them at this point. Like, we already know that they are down a fleet. Actually, they're down 2 fleets, so we should be able to confidently win this. I'm going to just keep ourselves moving with our radar assets. Again, the offside scouting asset, very useful here. This is the cheap version. I do think that the early warning tug would be better, but that costs about 200 points. So the difference here was I can either get 2 Bulwark Huntress shuttles, or I can get a early warning tug. And I elected to have 2 scouts instead of 1. So it is a trade-off. In this case, we're going to start doing what's called Orbulus around this thing, just having it set the tightest order for orbiting possible, and just try and shoot into it. It does, unfortunately, still have some of its armor, so we're going to have to swap over to using our AP rounds. That said, even if you kill me, you're in for a bad time when you come around this corner, buddy. Yeah, that's right. Pay attention to me. Yeah. Come on, get sprint mined. So this little nest of eggs here, lovingly barnacled. You can just see these. Like, as soon as it comes around this corner, these are all going to stage at once, I would hope, just given the sort of flat surface of the map. It's a little hard to tell the vertices on a map like this because it is very dark, so we've just laid those little nests, and that is going to be a problem for them. Yeah. All right, we're going to just tuck you in here. That should be good. We can see the one asset that they still kind of have that's combat capable getting peppered here. See, that's a sprinter, so not a big deal. We're just going to lock and fire. Pew, 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 pew. Change our heading as well a little bit. Just try and swing around. All right, let's see these mine hits. Come on, baby. Come on. Snoozing the ads. Come on. Nobody get ads for this. You're going to want to see it. Let's go. Come on. Make those mines happen. As you can see, these are all still masked. They can't see them. They're about to come around the corner, and just wait for it.
Lock on warning.
You see it desperately trying to slow down. Will it hit? I don't think so. I know I'm getting shot somewhere else. I don't care. Let's see these sprint mines go off. They're going for the point. Yep. Womp womp. Hi, buddy. Womp womp. Oh, that is... Yep, it's dead. Totally vindicated. Totally worth it. That was 100 points of sprint mines. Yeah, mines are good. You have to try barnacling. It's hilarious. Womp womp. Like, this thing, I was not going to be able to kill this with my multi-mission tug. But the sprint mines totally can. Yeah, that's satisfying as hell. All right, let's see. They have some other ships out here. I think these are just like... Pretty sure those are just dead. All right, let's just move ourselves up and clean up everything left on the map. Should be a wrap, I think, at this point. There's not really too much left they can do. We're going to just have you move up and like try and see what there's left. This is technically a threat to us there, I guess. We can go after that thing, I guess. We'll lock onto it and then fire it with our guns. We might not have the greatest lock, but still, we can make it happen, Captain. Switch this thing over to firing AP rounds like that. There we are. And yeah, we're also able to get a pretty decent lock from this range. You can see our friend here with the broadside 450. Ooh, a 450 flipper. I've tried these. They take a little bit of micro to do. I don't think they end up actually having better rate of fire because you end up waiting for the rollover and that. But they are quite cool to look at. You see the one side fire and then you flip over and fire the other side. Just mechanically, I think that it's quite cool. I don't know if gameplay-wise it's the best thing to really do, but you gotta admit, like, seeing the ship do the whole like rollover thing in space is really funny. There we go. We got a lock on this thing, firing every round we got into it. Yeah. I'm so happy about that mine hit. That was great. I'm confident that, like, they just didn't see it until it was too late. They were trying to, like, reverse thrust, and they were going out of the D point thinking, oh, yeah, I've got this, and then just 10 sprint mines right into the side. Womp. I'm actually going to have you move over here, because I think they might have a sprinter somewhere, and I want that to be dead. In this case, you're just going to be able to try and fix some of the stuff here. See, our bulk mag luckily managed to live through that. As for you, I want you to be firing on that, ideally. Thank you. Move you ever so slightly closer. Just be like a half kilometer or so, and then you'll be able to get hits. There we go. Yeah, this thing taking a whole bunch of shots here. Let's see. As for you, the Vauxhall here getting heavily crippled, but it's trading fire over here. We've got a nice little mine nest keeping the E point safe from anything. And yeah, feel pretty confident about the win. We're just racking up the last of the points now, and that'll be that. Yeah.
Incoming. Brace for impact.
Oh, who is locking me now? You.
Establishing
Oh,
lock.
never mind, actually. It's the Axford.
Roger that.
All right, we're just going to lock onto this thing so our team can quickly shred it.
Waiting orders, Commander.
I believe this might be dead. I can't tell if that's smoke or just, like, ash from all the weapon impacts. Okay. Oop. We are just going to fire on this thing in return then. Keep ourselves maneuvering.
Moving to that position.
Yeah, that'll be that.
Yes, Commander.
I'm pretty sure this is a dead sprinter, but at the same time, I can't quite tell, so who knows? Well, that thing's dead, whatever it is. I mean, if that's still alive, I'll be very impressed. Anyways, credit to them. They're still going for it. Let's see. Multi-mission you. I want you to actually cross over here, please, and thank you. And then you can just fire your HE rounds like that. And then as for you, I need you to keep distance here, please, and thank you. Burn, flank, and reverse. Oh, crap. I just realized how close you are. Okay, so we are taking some fire here and whatnot from the Axford. We're returning fire where we can. Not the greatest hits, of course, but hey, we're making do with what we got. Trying to adjust our heading accordingly. Gonna turn off our flank thrusters. There we go. So Papa J has surrendered. Okay, that is one of them. I believe it's just the GDI fleet now. So we're gonna mark all these. Yep, we can hear the alarm bells going off there. So gonna call that out. ERN fleet dead. There we are. All right. So just GDI here. We're gonna do a little trick called orbit distance keeping. So we're gonna basically set a orbit command at the desired distance, which is 7 kilometers. And this will mean that our ship will automatically move backwards and try and keep that range. So nice little tool to keep yourself arm's distance from certain enemies. In this case, we're gonna do the exact same thing over here, except this is gonna be making our ship close in. So we're just gonna set the orbit path to about 7 kilometers as well. There we go. Oh, never mind. Kozak throwing in the towel. So that's gonna be a GG. We managed to get a nice win. I am so satisfied with that mine hit. That was a great one. All right. Yeah, battle report pending. Let's take a look. So see, our team did decent numbers. Oh, yeah, look at all that damage there. Just a whole bunch of size 2 yub. Yeah, pulling big numbers here. They've got a... Wow, huh. That's actually very cheap, all things considered. Damn. Like, yeah, those are really cheap missiles, and they've got, like, 144 of those for only, like, 1,400 points. That's impressive. There's one of our tugs. Where is it? I believe it was this one. Yep, here you go. So one of them did get hard killed, but this is, again, the benefits of barnacling. They don't see it until it's too late. All of them sprint at once, and it's like trying to kill 10 hybrids, and you have only defenders. It is incredibly good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. Anyways, we're going to run our little 3-minute ad break intermission-y thing and then get back into some more nebulousing. So, yeah, we'll be right back, chat. Yeah. Alrighty, chat. We are back. Took a little bit of a break there just to run intermission and whatnot. So we hopped into area official number 3 if you want to come on by. We're going to be playing on ANS this time around. I'm just going to select the brothers, kind of my default fleet. The Axe Evasion and Axe Fraud, very good Axe Frauds. We had these showcased last Monday and had a lot of fun with them. Just going to wait for people to kind of trickle in and we'll get a little bit of the Nebulous going in that. Yeah. I'm quite happy with these Axe Fraud pair. They're pretty simple in terms of their original design, just a bunch of 450 guns facing forwards and then the supporting modules as needed. In this case, on the Axe Fraud, I have done the sort of interesting tech piece where you get a spyglass and then you put 4 track correlators on it. So the spyglass normally has a pretty poor, positional error, of like 60 meters. However, with 4 track correlators, if we take a look at our sensors here, you can see we drop that positional error down to 22. Which is pretty darn good, and that's 22 meter error at like 11 kilometers or so. That's a really good shootable track. So with 20 meters of error there, you can actually effectively fire 450 rounds. Again, the 450, it has some baseline spread at that range, so it's not going to be limited by your sensors as much in that regard as just the spread. So we do reduce the spread as much as we can using our gun plotting centers. We are a little limited in terms of our modules and stuff here. I went for 3 auxiliary steerings in the front, just being a really big reinforced pancake stack. You can just go with 2 of these things and then have them sort of insulate the gun a little bit here. This is due to the way high explosive damage splitting works. I like to run 3 because it means that I have a really strong resistance to like a high explosive shell hitting the middle because it splits damage across all 3 of them. And it doesn't exceed that 20 damage threshold they have. Then, of course, you have the damage reduction of the hull, a lovely, 40%. So, yeah, these are my sort of like frontline brick Axe Frauds. Probably could be better. Like, if I want to make these better, I'd take this berthing, put it up here, put a second gun plotting center in. That makes me a little bit over crew complement, but it's doable. Could also switch to a Raider drive and instead run some like reactors and stuff. But that means changing around quite a bit of the build, so I'm just happy with the way these are. We're just going to wait for people to show up as I talk about a little bit of other fleety stuff. I need to make more ANS fleets because I'm realizing now I've kind of just drifted towards OSP more than ANS, and I do enjoy playing both factions. I've just got, as you can see, quite a few more OSP fleets kind of just kicking around, either various iterations of my broadsiders, my cap fleets, or my affectionate little file I refer to as cheese. So to these, which just throw a whole bunch of size 2 missiles, or this thing, which has a, torpedo Ocello and a little bit of supporting assets. I do quite like the Torpecello. It's something that you have to play very stealthily, but it is incredibly devastating when it comes around a corner and just dumps like 48 torpedoes into the water. Yeah. This fleet, I believe I just never ended up getting around to finishing it. It was the idea of trying to make like a Plasma Ocello and to see how high I can get the rate of fire on that. Let's take a look. I think I just crammed this thing all full of E-regs. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4... rapid cycle cradles, I believe, just to get that rate of fire buff up, and then micro reactors. Yeah, this was an experiment to see if it worked better. I ended up just going with the bulk freighter style instead because I think it just works out better overall. But you can get these things rate of fire up pretty high. I mean, take a look at that. That's a 56% bonus to its rate of fire for 3 plasma turrets. Then I compared it to just taking, a bulk freighter with like 8 plasma turrets, and it was like, oh, you can just do this instead, huh? And it's cheaper too, so ended up going with that style. I don't think the Ocello is bad. I just don't think that doing the whole plasma T-30s is the kind of like best role for the Ocello. That said, I believe that the turret is a little bit higher up here, so it doesn't get as much of the nose masking issue. Very annoying when that happens. So let's see if we can't put together an ANS fleet of some sort. We'll see. Probably in the lobby. Yep, there we are. Set this up. So we'll just end up waiting for people to trickle in. I saw there was a couple of games that were about to start up. Unfortunately, when I hopped into both of them, they were either a complete stack, and I don't entirely feel like facing a stack without a stack of my own. Stack versus stack is very fun to play, don't get me wrong, but when I'm just a little cat boy trying to make my way in the world on my own, it's not as fun as, facing off against like a 4 stack that's already on comms and doing their thing. So, with any luck, they will end up finding each other and then have a lovely stack versus stack fight, and we can just go about doing our silly business in our own little facet and avenue of reality. Yeah. Kind of trying to decide, like, I've got some things like this, the lovely Task Force Femboy, which is 3 Vauxhalls here, as you can see. These are about what you expect. Not really much to say about them. They have chaff, they've got some active decoys, they kind of do their job, they've just got a bunch of defenders across them and 250s. I don't personally like running triple Vauxhall. I find that it's a little too limited in that I don't have the ability to bring jamming or some other assets. I much prefer running something like, if you take a look over here, the Fast Attack Split version, I call it. So this is the Doc Vivi and the Gamma Railgun, named after 2 people I'm friends with. They're funny. And then we got the Unattended Child here and the Blahage. I think I'm saying that right. Plahaj. You know, the little IKEA shark stuffy. So the idea behind these is that these are each run in tandem, so I can then run these on 2 different sides of the map and kind of play cleanup sweeper. As we saw last game, I am a fan of taking the little light shuttles and tugs and stuff, and this is designed to isolate and eliminate that kind of thing. The jamming provided by these little EWAR corvettes, as you can see, they've got a hang up on the bottom, bullseye on the snoot, and then 2 blanket jammers, so that I always have a radar jammer in arc. It doesn't matter as much for the hang up jammer. That's kind of a overtime thing that I'll develop. But when I need jamming right here, right now, I have the ability to just point and click, and with the battle short enabled, then they'll just do their job. So very nice to see that. Yeah. I quite like that combo. I'm just trying to think like what I would want for an ANS fleet. I do have some cap fleets I need to work out. I've got the lovely Cappuccino, which was just all of these kind of like cheap clones. This was originally designed back when I think it was a little bit simpler to do a cap fleet. You didn't need chaff exactly, then the kind of soft kill, not exactly changes, but just people mixed up what they were doing. It was okay to run this because like your chaff just didn't do anything against EO containers anyways, and a bunch of OSP stuff ran that, so it was fine to just have, you know, no soft kill because you just needed to rely on going Daka Daka, and that kind of worked. But we also got some ideas here. The Wolf Pact is an experiment I was trying out to see if I couldn't get like a trio of frigates together and then make something happen with that. Got our lovely cap and callouts here. I do quite like this fleet. The idea being that the 3rd iteration has just gone to pure missile. I think that this is probably the best. You see we're over crew, unfortunately, a little bit on there, so I'll have to tweak this later on, but that should be fine. Crew totally working as intended and has been fully implemented, yes, and not everyone, you know, totally cheeses this thing. Enjoy it while it lasts, kids. I look forward to this getting fixed because it means that everyone's fleet who cheeses this like me is going to have to redo their stuff and actually include a berthing instead of like another aux steering. So, I mean, this is a pretty simple fix. You just replace this aux steering with a berthing, and there you now have enough crew for the thing, but that will get fixed when it does. Until then, these are the game terms as they have been set, so hey, play with the rules they've been afforded. We've got a intel ship here called the Barista, which I need to swap around the layout on because I want to fit some more stuff into this. We currently have, let's see, we've got 2 focus particle accelerators, we got an intel center, reinforced CIC. I think that I want to get more damage control on it, so I might swap the CIC up to here and then put a large locker in the back. Yeah, that way we get a little bit more crew. Let's see, so using the rules I told you earlier, this is 10 crew, this is 10 crew, and then this would be 5 crew, so we can be over by 25, which we're only over by like, what's that, like 14 or so now, I think? Okay, so we're just fine on that. Got our defenders as well and our little chaff box along with a jammer on the chin. You do need 2 jammers to hide a destroyer like this, so I would love to get a second jammer on here, but I think that's going to cause power issues, which is the thing, so we need a plane control center, and then that gets more expensive because, of course, the blanket jammer costs 50 points, plane control center costs, I want to say 25. Yeah, it'd be another 75-point investment to get double jammer, blah, 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 blah. Everything gets expensive very fast, so. In this case, the intended role of this thing is to just hide it decently well, and then you're able to fire into whatever wants to come around the corner and blast your fleet. So we've got all of our little stuffs kicking about here. I guess that, I could put the reinforced mag here to try and like split damage across there. Actually seems like a pretty good idea. Okay, we're going to do that. So we're going to put the reinforced mag here. We're going to fill it with the 6,000 rounds that we wanted. I'll just click this up like so. And we're going to replace this one with, I want to say, the intel center. Okay, and then we'll put instead here a, where is it? I wanted a small workshop. Yeah, so the idea being that when our beam gets damaged, we want to repair that very fast. So we got reinforced mag, reinforced CIC, intel center, large locker, small workshop. We're 10 points over, but we can trim 10 points somewhere else in the fleet. So just take a look around for what we want to do with that. I got 2 fly swatter missiles here, just handy little tools to poke at something if it decides it wants to creep around. Yeah, got ourselves some more people joining in here. Let's see, how can we trim 10 points out of this fleet? These are, I'm pretty happy with the way these are run. They have chaff in case that we have to deal with that. We shut off the radars that dodges ARAD act. If they have act wake, we just stay still. So having a little bit of chaff on your offside spyglass adaptive radar scouts is pretty good. I don't think that I'd change anything around there. The little A-capper that could, tell you the truth, this thing is kind of just a throwaway anyways. I'm not even sure if I should bother having a gun on it. Like, I'm just expecting this thing to go onto the A point and die, right? So, I think we are actually just gonna cut this thing down to like the bare necessities. There we are. Because if it's just gonna be like a throwaway asset, right? Then why pay more for it than we have to? Just change this over to being a berthing, I think. There we go. Yeah, berthing. Reinforced drive, we don't really need either, so we'll just completely cheap out on this. 166 points. Frontline radar has a little thing of the snoot. We can just take this reinforced mag and set it to that. There we go. That's 162 points. That frees up a bunch of points across the fleet, so we can invest more into our ship here if we wanted. We can put these small workshops somewhere instead. Maybe small workshop down here, and then this could be a berthing, so that way we always have enough crew. Very nice. We have about enough points, actually, so if we can find a spot to put it. Aux steering there. Okay, maybe instead of an aux steering, here's an idea. Okay, so we take this, and we make it instead the workshop, right? We'll make this a workshop in the front, reinforced mag, and then down here, we'll just get rid of this for now. We do need a large berthing to get enough crew, I think. I'm not sure if we can get away with this otherwise. Puts us over by a bunch. Our stack order is going to be a little awkward. I don't want to put plant control down there. I want plant control in the back thing. Okay, Decisions. This is like the safe spot we want to have for our large locker because we need that. Intel center. I guess I could try the plant control in here. Maybe. That might get me some stack order issuing thing, though. Unfortunate. Wah. Well, I guess actually we only need enough crew to go here, and that should be fine, right? We won't actually use these crew. I'm going to see if that works. I think that this will be fine. Maybe, question mark. Should be okay. Maybe. That might cause some errors. As we would be over by about 29 crew then, so... Actually, no, that should be fine. We can be doing that in accordance to the rules we have been presented with, so we'll go ahead and grab ourselves a second blanket jammer down here then. There we are, over by 1 point. Well, we can just trim chaff off of this thing since it's just going to go ahead get on the point and die. And yeah, I think that I'm happy with how that goes. We are going to add this to the bottom jammer group, and that should be good. A little bit cheesy and whatnot, but hey, you can be dangerously cheesy on this. ANS team kind of filling up a little bit, getting some OSP ruffians as well. Nice to see. Yeah. What's in that fleet? Sand. I recognize this. I've made this before. Where is it? 10 litter boxes. Yep, same idea. It's just container liners full of kitty litter, just all sand in there. Very funny. Equip this as well, make it a little bit silly. So this is a fleet that we do. Oh, with stacked decors. Oh, so they actually have an actual one. That's funny. Yeah, in my case, this is what I load up as my default one because it always makes people chuckle. And I mean, hey, it's a container liner full of sand called litter boxes. What are you going to do about that, right? Anyways, we're on Nix's Eye, just chilling, hanging out. If anyone in chat wants to hop by, area official number 3 is where we at. So just go ahead and drop on in. We're just chilling, waiting for people to show up. A little bit of Lobulus and whatnot. Let's see. Where was that fleet we just finished? Right, our cap fleet. So the idea being for this fleet is called cap and call it number 3. So seeing some people drop in, drop out. We might dip out and see if there is, in fact, another lobby up. The idea is that we have got 1, 2, 3, and 4 of our ships here as little torpedo corvettes capable of doing some decent damage. They've got 2 Insta-Stage size 3 hybrids and then some command home-on-jam torpedoes. Pretty good stuff overall. I've got a couple of size 1 offensive missiles that I'm experimenting with, so just trying out different things, seeing how they work. I like having 2 defenders because it doesn't mean that I have to care which hemisphere is pointed at the enemy. I always have some DACA, and from like straight on or so like this, I can get a double overlap, which feels very good. These have, I believe, 5 degrees? Yeah, 5 degrees of gun depression, so there's a brief little overlap field there that you can get. Very nice to have. And yeah, we've got a little missile launcher in the nose, big missile launcher down here, reinforced drive, and just trying to make these things as tanky as possible. Reinforced mag, aux steering, CIC, DC, all of that stuff, just a big reinforced blob here. It does kind of help against things like Grape Shot because I don't believe that Grape Shot has enough, it can't break the damage threshold on these, but it can crew kill very effectively. It also helps against high explosive because it splits the damage evenly across all 4 of these modules, so you're able to wither the storm incoming fairly well with that. That said, you will still end up losing quite a bit of your stuff if you get a whole bunch of fire thrown at you. It is a Corvette after all. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. 4 little torpedo corvettes. These are pretty effective. They are expensive at 400 points, so I am investing in these about as much as I would a multi-mission tug on OSP side, so nice to have either way. Our little YOLO cap number 5 here just kind of goes onto the point and then generally dies. I might swap that around with the barista, but I do kind of like the stack order, which just shows you like the 5 corvettes at first. And then I've got my little beam DD here, which is masking itself with double jamming. And then I've got these 2 spyglass frigates that just kind of go around the outside. They've got scouting assets and pinards, so I set them offset I would love a third one of these, honestly, but I'm just not quite sure how to get that into the budget. I guess I could, like, cut the jammers here. That would save me at least 100 points. And then I could also cut the plant control and then change things around a little bit on this. I could drop down to Focus Particle Accelerate as well. That's in the 25. So that's like 200 points right there. That means dropping Focus Particle Accelerator, which means I deal less damage. So everything with a trade-off. 2 Focus Particle Accelerators get you very good damage at range. That said, 1 is enough. So I do entertain the idea of getting a third Spyglass Scout Frigate on the side because 261 points. We already know that dropping the jammers and the plant control and the FPA, that's going to be 200. Then it's just a case of how do we scrounge up 60 points. Alternatively, we could just ditch the Pinard module, which is 30 points right there. So that could then get us the remaining budget that we really want. Yeah, there is options. You take 800 watts. So yeah, we're just in range of getting our power up here. Also wanting to be able to run everything at once. So yeah. See, a bunch of people kind of chit-chattering. Looks like we're up to 8 players in lobby now. So nice to see the lobby filling up pretty quick in that. We will go from there. Small workshop in the front. Might change that around with something else. I'm not really sure what to put up there. Large locker because I want to have 2 restores for the snoot. Also because it's kind of... the destroyer itself is kind of fragile, like I mentioned. Like, it doesn't have a whole bunch of armor, doesn't have a whole bunch of damage reduction. Like, 10% DR, that changes, like, 1 or 2 breakpoint thresholds, but they're very small. Only 22 centimeters means the high explosive rounds from the 100 mils will get through. Only thing this is really stopping is Grape Shot. And Grape Shot is usually followed with Plasma, or something in that order. They kind of go hand in hand. So, yeah. With that being said, we have our workshop up here. We got our birthing down here. Plant Control Center, Intel. I guess that's like the toughest thing we can really put up there. 35 TT, 150. We'll be able to fire our beam and then hopefully get stuff done. Ideally, if you think about like what's battle shorted, we'll have the beam, we'll have the jammers and stuff. And if I just have those turned on, they'll all be cooking each other. So then I've got 3 damage control teams that can evenly repair there. That's in theory. Napkin math, of course, varies very differently from the actual play style. So we'll see how it ends up going. Just waiting for the 10th player to drop in. Nix's Eye is currently 5v5. There we go. It's getting some people in here. So we'll go ahead and try and do our fleet. A little bit of cappage action. Yeah. I'm generally pretty happy with it. I think that on Nix's Eye, our goal is to do what we described, I believe last stream it was, just trying to stack up on one side and go from there. We've got 4 torpedo assets that we can threaten with. I've got this thing which can just go onto a point and cap it, so it is the Red Eye YOLO capper in that. So realistically, this is a 160 point tax. It's not as good as the 86 point tax that we could do on the OSP side, but hey, everything has its ups and downsides. OSP is very good with the cheap ships, which is quite handy for when you're trying to play the control mode. We have the Destroyer as well. Oh, hang on a sec. Just need to take a big sippy. Got something tickling my throat there. Anyways, we've got the Destroyer, which can safely watch 1 point. And then we've got our Spyglass frigates, which can handily set themselves sort of offset and then check the top and bottom of the map, respectively, with their early warning, not early warning, their Pinard, which can then spot early warning radar. So, in terms of our team, we've got ourselves, let's see, it looks like a pair of CLs with Mark 62s. Okay, going for that maximum rate of fire. They got 5 defenders, so I'm betting they probably got a defender on the backside. Not sure if that will help too much with stuff or not. I'd prefer having a chaff box in the backpack, but hey, do how you want to do your fleet. Got an electronic warfare destroyer here. Interesting style. That's an interesting little bag of tricks in this. Pinards and Pinards. These are very good synergizing with our fleet. They have a whole bunch of chaff launchers and size 1 offensives, if I had to guess. Got a big old 3,000 point battleship. Yep, this thing is, they're paying the premium store. They got a bunch of chaff on it. No redundant antenna, which is one thing I will say you do want to bring on a battleship. The antenna is notorious for getting knocked off by like the slightest whiff of just anything. So a lot of people will put the CR-70 antenna either on the battleship's chin or on one of the cheeks. Zoo over here has got some Mark 64s with missile backpack. Nice to see. And then they've got a little bit of electronic warfare and some missiles and stuff to go with it. So yeah, I do like 2CL just kind of as a basis for like a fleet. And then you fill out like your remaining 1,000 or so points with whatever you kind of want for it. Feels pretty good. You can invest a little bit more into a missile backpack. You can go with torpedo launcher on this. That's actually a TLS, not a canter launcher. I like the canter launchers better than the torpedo launcher. Torpedo launcher has done me dirty a few times where it just refuses to launch no matter what I tell it. It's ever so slightly out of arc. Either way, not sure what Tactical has, but we will see in a bit. Over in the enemy team, they got a little bit of their own stuff they're no doubt figuring out. Nix's Eye, fun little map, so we're going to play on that when we can, yeah. I'm just going to ask them... ready up. It's a little bit rich coming from me because I was sitting in the fleet editor for a lot of the time. But anyways. Yep. Oops, all Axfords. That is kind of a fleet comp. I've had some discussions with people before about the ANS kind of like... I don't like necessarily say play the meta or anything, but it's understanding like what is an effective tool that's in favor at the time. Why is that tool effective? It's like you should understand the kind of meta game and stuff. But again, I also say that you don't want to play the meta. You want to play what kind of counters the meta. That being just like, okay, what is, generally second place in metagame is whatever is countering what's first place. So it's kind of an interesting idea. I'm, again, very much in favor of trying to do counterplay. So the idea is figure out what your opponent is bringing, what they're going to be trying to do, figure out what would inconvenience them the most, and then try and run that. So if you know your opponent is going to be bringing a whole bunch of small little ships and stuff because they like that play style, then you bring a fleet in turn, which is focused on trying to sweep up small little ships like that. Something like you saw earlier with the pair of Vauxhalls that I was showing off with their little jammer escorts. Those things are very good at kind of isolating and punching down against lighter targets, and you can also put a respectable amount of fire against other targets that are kind of equal to them. So they may struggle against like a full front line of bulk freighter and a cello and whatnot, but they are pretty good at sweeping the other assets. So yeah, it's kind of adapting to what you're expecting your enemy to be doing and how you go about it. So A point, we're just going to assume that that is lost because it's Nyx's eye. There's most likely a mass driver out there, so not even going to bother with that. Just gonna tell my team we are stacking the D side. So our original plan, we're going to send the red eye, our little naked capper, to get the B point there. We're going to have the barista go with it. That way it provides beam overwatch. We're going to then have the cream and the sugar provide our little sort of offset scouting here. So we'll have a spyglass up top, and we'll have a spyglass down bottom, so we'll be able to see everything. Pinards will be able to detect the enemy fleet as well. And with that said, we are going to then have some various other little assets. So I could do a torp bombing run there, but I don't think that is in our best interest. I'm going to just have the Cortado, I believe, cap the C point. And then I can just decide where I want my other 3 torpedo corvettes to go. The idea being that I cap this point and then have it hang out around here as my sort of like safeguard. I could then potentially flank a ship under here, so we'll send the Americano low to try and get onto that rock there. As for other stuff, I think just having something to like guard these sides. So let's go with the Cappuccino on the right flank here, so I have a torpedo corvette if I need one, and then the Latte can be guarding this flank. This way we have some situational awareness and scouting and stuff, but also some defensive power. So we've split ourselves fairly evenly across here, and we'll go with that. Yeah. And actually have you deploy a little bit higher. The idea being this is a like minimum commitment. We're just basically seeding the B point. The idea being we focus strongly on the A point and the D point there. So see how they're going to go with this. Yep, wanting a beam blob on the D or C. So the idea is that we're able to control these 2 points, the C and D point, and then kind of rotate and swing onto the A and their E point. So the idea of this to counter the enemy distributing themselves evenly across the map, because if they distribute evenly, it will take them time to rotate and engage us. Yeah. See our little lovely beam destroyer coming in here. That is the plan anyways. If it ends up going that way, that is an entirely different thing to consider. So now remember, I did tell my team to seed the that's seed, spelled C-E-E-D, I believe. So we're going to be giving up on the other side over there. The idea being that we just are committing more of our tonnage to this side and then going to win it that way. Just going to have you fly up here since I'm expecting you to be a little naked capper thing. That is paired up with our beamstone here. I'm expecting this to kind of be a fight. So we're just going to send you off here as like the minimum investment. I might potentially get a kill. I could have done this the other way around, which may have made more sense since that would be just a cheap little minimum investment here. But this thing actually has some offensive power. This means that at least this side has something offensive on it. We'll be able to get our caps going here, like so. We'll move our spyglasses up and around the map like so. We are managing a little bit of stuff here, so it's going to take me a moment to just get everything going. I'm going to have you tuck yourself into the rock's face down there. Just going to have you flank full ahead. As for you, we are going to do a little move where we move you upside down like so. Actually going to have you rolled a little bit offset like that. The idea being we roll you, then your pinard module will spot the inside of the map. Same concept will go for you, Mr. Spyglass. Thank you. You're going to turn that way. So the cream and sugar are going to be our information gatherers. And have you go fast. Our DD is also going to be going super fast. I'm going to have it set to hold fire, and then I'm going to have it set its beam target right onto the D point here. The idea being we want to have it pre-aimed for whenever a shuttle wants to come that way. We're going to tuck it into the little groove here, give or take. That way we can quickly pop ourselves up out of cover or move forwards and backwards, depending on what we want to do. This is just getting us at the point there. We're asking where the enemy. We are hugging the rock very well, so they probably don't see us on early warning, or they are memeing. Either way. We're going to move our fleet up like so. And that should be that. Everything has a move order, as we can see here, so that is all the micro we need to do for right now. And yeah, we're just going to play this sneaky-like. So you can see them sending one of their little Pinard scout missiling ships down below the map here, so they'll be able to get that situational awareness. Unfortunately, we don't see anything here. You can see them sending also one of their little, well, that's a cute little emblem. I like that. Little cat with a knife. Look at that. Look at this. He's just a little guy. He's a little guy. He can't do any crimes. Yeah. Torpedo, YOLO cap, run to A point. We're expecting the enemy to be there. Here is our first customer, so we're going to adjust accordingly to that. Yep, 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 yep. In this case, we're going to swap over like so, firing the beam in that general direction. Oh, you can see them going off there. So because we know that they have grape shot, we are not even going to bother trying to get on the point. We're just going to quickly evade into the rock here, ideally. Come on, buddy. There we are. So as you can see, we're taking heavy damage here. The magazine has been hit, but the magazine does not have anything important in it, so we're just going to try and get there. Oh, Frozen Garden Flower, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Pull up a chair. So we're getting hit by grape shot here and jammed as well, so that is unfortunate, but we are just going to hold our ground here as best as possible. In this case, we have our beam locked on target. We ended up getting here first, but we are going to have to fall back like so. Going to move ourselves back into cover here in a second, and then hopefully we'll be able to survive. They're firing a bunch of high explosive shot into us now, which is rather unfortunate. We need to keep our basic CIC going. In this case, we are going to do a little trick where, because we won't see the enemy for very long, we're just going to put an attack marker there. Now I have a rough idea of where they are going to be. My destroyer here is going to just need to move itself ever so slightly forward in a bit. We're going to fire our jammers like so. I'm going to cancel the beam turret order and fire that. This way we should be able to jam them a little bit. There we go. All right, let's see. The latte is currently being detected. Hello, you. That is less than stellar. Hi, bud. You're just going to fire into these, I think. Yeah. Yeah, we're just going to fire off these, and that's going to be that. Okay, yep. So they have unfortunately jammed us, so we're instead going to fire these on position, like so. Torp dump what we got. Number 6 is going to have to take a look-see here. So you are firing your jammer. Good. Okay, you're going to cease fire on that, and we're just going to move you back a little bit. You're going to try and get out of there. The latte is taking heavy damage here as we're just firing all the torps that we got. Yeah, dump everything you can. We're going to fire our insta-stages as well, since the enemy has decided they want to be here. So anything that is jamming us is going to get clonked in a second here. Womp womp. All right, there we go. We're just going to get out of here as well we can. Fire these spin bonkers if you can. Fire, fire, fire. Dump everything. Fire. Wag. Dump every missile you got. Whoosh. In this case, we did decent damage, at least clobbering one of them. I don't know if we smoked it or not. They are having a bad time either way. So yeah, with this investment here, we are going to make some sacrifices, but hey, all in the name of glory and whatnot. Let's see, we'll take a look over here so we can see the enemy has some their assets kind of going out and about. Gonna move to counter that. In this case, number 6 here, you are going to be firing your beam turret on these in a second, moving you like so, underneath the rock. Yeah, Actually, we have another beamstone flank there, so we don't need to do that. We're just going to hold fire over there. The latte over here is going to get cooked, but we are able to pretty much dump its entire payload, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, all of its weapons have been expended, so its goal now is to just be a nuisance and die. We're just going to have it throw itself onto the point. They have a bunch of shuttles around the place. Ooh, hello there. Okay, so yeah, the A-capper is... Never mind, the A-cap is good. All right, we might be able to actually get onto point here, so we're going to turn off flank thrusters. Instead, we're going to move ourselves up here and try and get that. Let's take a little look around. So the latte is engaged. The A-cap red eye here is engaged. Latte, we know, is going to go down. There's not much we can really do about that. We have inflicted some crippling damage. We knocked out at least their systems here. So I'm pretty sure that jammer is going to stay dead the rest of the game, so that is limiting the enemy's assets fairly effectively. You see a bunch of missiles here. Again, we are just a reinforced little brick at the moment, so they are having to invest a stupid amount of stuff to actually killing us here. We're able to get onto the point and force them to continue wasting their time. So again, we are making the enemy spend time, which is a resource. It is not the best thing for us, but at the same time, we are able to get something done with it. So now that we have gotten the C point here, our goal is to stay close enough to this thing to protect it. So we're going to move ourselves up onto this rock here, just guessing where the enemy is most likely to come from. Just deploy like so. Pop, pop. You can turn off flank because we don't need to burn ourselves there. We just have ourselves set up in position where we can kind of engage. As for you, the cappuccino, our plan is to engage these clippers in a second here. So you're just going to move up like so. Ta-da. Yeah, we see the red eye trying to go for the cap here. Unfortunately, its main thruster is out, so we're going to have to be sneaky about it. We're going to instead turn the ship sideways here, so it uses its intact side flanking thrusters, because the main engine here just we can't fix that. This ship was not meant to survive as long as it did. We have our beam destroyer on standby here. We're going to keep these things hidden because these are already getting cleaned up here. No need for us to do any commitment there. There is a little clipper over there. Let's see. These are only direct fire, so I might be able to trim that thing down pretty easily. There's also a cargo feeder, which we definitely want to torpedo, so we're going to go after that for the kill. It's a little bit outside of the range of our beam destroyers at the moment, but I think that they can get a shot in a second. Because I am kind of worried that it might have some more stuff. We're going to just instead deploy our offensive asset. In case here, we can fire on that with a beam just to keep ourselves occupied. All right, let's take a look around the map, trying to be situationally aware, moving up our spies. Oop. There goes the latte getting itself royally toasted. This thing being able to move itself there is good. Cappuccino is about to clear this corner, and then we're going to hit that cargo feeder with everything we got to be able to torpedo it pretty well. I'm hoping this thing does not have Pavis. We're going to find out. Come on, buddy. Oh, hi there. Okay, yep, they have torps as well, so we're going to fire into this thing once we get a shot. That looks good. Fire, fire, fire. Oh, crap. Okay, yep, turn off the radar. Pop chaff. Hold still. Just gonna try and hope that we get this or not. Torps in return. And just dump more torps into this thing, I think. 3 torps should do. This is a missile launcher itself, so killing this thing off is not something we can exactly do. They committed a lot of their tonnage here. I'm pretty sure their missiles are reloading. We're gonna fire a fishtail over towards that because it's a little outside of our current range. See, number 6 here. You are going to fire onto this thing like so, and fire your jammers as well. There you go. Boop, boop. You should be in range, I believe. Thank you. Yes, maybe. Okay, I'm doing a lot of things right now, chat, so just give me a second here. Streamer brain is going blurb. Anyways, missiles are out. They have a defense missile trying to get here. We're going to see all of our drumsticks have unfortunately been expended. This thing, that has been hit pretty hard, though. All right, let's see if we can't fire off another one onto you. I want to make sure that that thing does, in fact, die. It has anti-missiles, which is a little annoying. They are pretty well tuned to counter our stuff, so we're just going to be trying to move up here now. You see the Red Eye is trying to cap the point. We have our beam destroyer hopefully getting a line here or not. I'm not sure why it refused to shoot. If you would be so kind, please, and thank you. There we go. That's what we're looking for. So, unfortunately, we do not have a bullseye lock, but we still managed to toast this thing decently well. I'm going to have you try and battle short briefly. It does not go through, unfortunately. All right, let's take a look. So this thing is not under command. The ship is, in fact, dead. We're going to mark it killed. Over here, the latte. Oop, what do you got? You had a shot for a brief second. Okay, so this thing is royally toasted. Very nice, very nice. All right, we have more or less controlled the flank here. I'm going to send my ship down here instead and then try and get the point, because we should be able to do that. This thing is pretty well smacked. I'm going to try for a little bit of extra lethality here, going for a fly swatter missile or 2. Just going to fire off these. Hopefully we'll get a extra hit or maybe kill a damage control team that they've restored. All right, let's see. So over here, you're still getting hit. Like I said, this thing is really annoying because we are keeping it alive, which is pretty funny. Unfortunately, I think I might have lost my team. That, yeah, damn. So unfortunately, we do get hit by enough missiles there. We're not able to reinforce tank long enough. That said, we kept the enemy occupied, so pretty happy with that one. As for you, let's see. Hello, you. You need to not be here. Fire missiles. And as for you, you need a torpedo. Thank you. We're just going to fire 2 of those. Actually, you are going to, let's see. You're going to launch there. Okay, then you're going to move over here and engage these targets in a second. Let's see, so I'm trying to micro a lot of stuffs here. I think my destroyer needs to move around a little bit. So unfortunately, they do get their missile systems back up online, and we don't have anything to counter that crap. All right, we'll need to keep our situational awareness up here, firing what I can against them here. I believe we got a hit. It's getting RPF'd either way, so that should be good. We'll hold on to the C point. As for you here, we're going to fire, let's see. You are going to be just barely out of range, so that's unfortunate. We will move you closer, though. Pew, 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 pew. We're actually going to... I think we're good for right now with this thing. I do want to do more with the beam destroyer, but I just don't quite have the assets for it right now. I'm going to try and have you just move around, provide awareness here, keeping your angling set like so. Well, have your heading go there. All right, America... No, over here, yes. You do not, unfortunately, have the angle that we need here. This thing should be toasted. If it's not, I'll be very surprised. Looks like it is, in fact, dead, so we hold on to the C cap. We are a little bit on the back foot, but we are cleaning up enemy assets, so now we just need to make ourselves maneuver into a position where we can get ourselves a favorable fight. I believe that I can hunt down those shuttles here with my torpedoes and stuff. They look like they're trying to run and hold an angle. I'm going to move up my destroyer since we control a bunch of this space, and I feel like that is the best move here. Let's see if we can't actually go after those ones. Yeah, we'll have you go down low and underneath the rock like that. There. All right. Now the Americano over here. We need to keep track of all the other things. I'm pretty sure that is, in fact, a real target, so we're going to fire a shot at it and see what we get. I'm also going to fire a spin bonker alongside this. The idea being that the torpedo will move first, and then the point defense turrets will fire it. And then this little spin bonker will go afterwards, and then hopefully it will intercept. That's a anti-missile missile keyed to hit that. Now we're going to fire a drumstick onto you and a drumstick onto you. And then hopefully these will work out. See, these guys do not appear to have point defense. That is good. So we just need to quickly evade here. Burn flank here, try and get out of the way. So you see them trying to hit us. That said, we're just going to keep dumping pretty much everything we got. Torps out in the water. Let's fire everything. Fire, fire, fire! Missiles away! To try and dodge the rocket salvos as well as we quickly move about here. The torps are out, looking good. Getting some misses here, unfortunately. Yeah, struggling a little bit. That said, we have spin bonkers going on target. We've got ourselves another torp here. I have one fishtail left. That will hit there. That is going to be most likely a dead ship. We're going to fire off our last round, I think. Actually, do we have a destroyer beam lock yet? Unfortunately, no. They're going to be running here a lot. I'm going to have you quickly move there. All right, let's see. What can we still kill those with? So, in this case, trying to clean up enemy assets is important. This one is, in fact, hard dead, so we're going to mark it as such. Once this one gets a little further away, we can send over the good old fishtail into it. We see they have another shuttle. We're just trying to play cleanup at this point because there's so much stuff on the map. I believe that you will be able to get that one with one of your insta-stages, so we will not pursue it there. In this case, you are just going to eat a fishtail missile, please, and thank you. And then we'll have you move towards the E point and cap it, ideally. See, they still have that cargo feeder up here. The Cappuccino, unfortunately, does not have any more stuff that we can throw at it, but we can still have this thing start working towards a back cap situation. We'll just have it go under the rock here a little bit, and then I believe head towards the E point as well. I'm assuming that I'm going to get intercepted here, so I have to make plays accordingly. I've not seen what they have on the A point, but we should be able to get a cap shuttle there or something along those lines. Let's see. Did you end up getting a missile hit off or not? I did not see a missile go down there, so I'm going to have to sweep with another ship in this case. As for you, the destroyer, unfortunately, because we had destroyers with us, it did not get as much value as I wanted it to. I could go and beam that cargo feeder, but I think that that thing has expended its payload or otherwise taken enough damage, it doesn't matter. We're going to start moving our spyglass ship over here to make sure this thing... okay, I'm just going to call that out to the team. We should have somebody able to sweep over. I believe our destroyers will be able to get that thing in its arc pretty fast and go from there. Let's take a look at what we got left. So as for you, you're just going to be going over here, not seeing anything to get destroyed there. Going to switch around our stuff. Okay, so I'm going to tidy up on my screen a little. So we're going to have number 4 bound to number 2. You're going to be this and that. There we go. You can now rebind ships, which is very nice. So we're going to move ourselves wherever we can. Again, this ship, the Cappuccino, has lost its engine, so we're going to change its heading so that we are able to get onto point. Nice to use your thrusters that you have available. Okay, so that is a problem. So unfortunately, we cannot deal with that. We're going to have to slow down because they have mined the E point. Call that out. Denny DeFan, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream, pull up a chair. Let's see. So that is a ship that is, in fact, alive. Fishtails are going to go out on it, and that should be a kill. I'm just doing the cheap, easy way of launching these instead of like actually leading target. This should hopefully correct for it. See, so there's that shuttle down here that is still trying to run. We've cleaned up a bunch of their stuff. I haven't seen like any of their big combat assets proper, which is concerning. They do, in fact, have mass drivers, which is an issue, so we'll have to deal with that. One of their EWAR ships looks like it's going to go onto the A point here and get us that cap back. So, again, we were on the back foot for a while. We recovered. We took out a bunch of their stuff, and now it is our job to try and get into the game once again as we find out where their big ships are and how we can hunt them down since we've controlled a bunch of their smaller assets. So, we're going to set you to flank speed here. You're going to have your nose headed this way and your roll adjusted accordingly, trying to get that pinard to spot enemy stuff. Let's take a look around. So, the Cortado has fired off one of its fishtail missiles here. Lovely seeing this go on target. Wham! Is that dead? I do not hear alarms. All right, well, when you don't hear alarms, you know what you do? You send another one. I'm just going to send this off about, let's see, that looks about right there. All right, fire for effect. So we're sending off a Insta-Stage hybrid, which is a little more expensive than normal. However, in this case, it is able to more or less get itself on target. I should have set a attack marker here like this. As you can see, again, they have more mass drivers onto the offset side, so We should be able to scout that out using our spyglass frigate, like so. Idea being that we are detecting their stuff before it hits us, ideally. Have to set our heading and roll to counter. Again, most of their stuff was in the shuttles, which we have now cleaned up. I'm going to fire a second one off here. This should kill it. I'm betting it was a reinforced component and that this will most likely inflict a kill on their damage control team. So I believe I fired that on the right vector. Yeah, it should hit the cone here, I think. Let's find out. A-Rad Seeker won't do anything because their radar will, of course, be down. However, the Axe Seeker, assuming I did position this right, that should barely clip the edge, I hope. Come on, please clip the edge. We're just going to watch and see if the Radar Seeker does, in fact. Yes, there we do. All right, and womp. Alarms? Seriously, no alarms? It's not dead. I don't think it's dead, anyways. It's dead. Huzzah! We got him. All right, nice job, gamers. Anyways, we see something going towards the A point over there briefly, so we're gonna have to try and run and intercept that. Why are you on my C point? Get off my C point. That is my point. I've got torpedoes for this. Okay, so we're going to burn flank down here using what we got. Our destroyer, the intel beast that it is, we're going to have to find a place where it can get some effective damage done. We're going to cross it over to the middle rock to threaten multiple points here and just try and work ourselves back into the game. It's only to 1,000 points, so we do have to make something happen soonish. This ship, unfortunately, will not be able to clear the E point, so we need to go somewhere else. Okay, we're going to have it run over like so, and then try and get onto the B side here. There we go. Flank approved. No heading needed. As for you, hello. You are going to die. Thank you. Yes. Fire torpedo. It is a command guidance, so it should be able to quickly turn here. Cold launch, so it will rotate and then fire. We have got our... Ow, that's rude. Mine's bigger. Bonk! Are you dead? You're dead. Haha, mine's bigger. I love being a little missile gremlin.
We hear you, Command.
Anyways, our destroyer is going to move into the middle of the field now. We just need to clear out the enemy stuff. We're going to flip over the map once again. I'm sorry if this is very disorienting to people. Don't worry, it's disorienting to me too. All right, there is our target of choice. So we're going to try and fly directly towards this thing and engage. The Americano does not have any more missiles, but we are able to kind of get some stuff done here either way. The Cortado has done its job of defending our home point here, so there's that, it's unfortunately out of our range. We're going to turn off flank thrusters here and get onto point. As for you, Intel Destroyer, thank you very, very much. We're going to have you fired when ready. You can see the Latte over here is unfortunately going to cook off. That is, however, a good thing, because there's potentially some mines laid on this point, which will then be cleared so the Americano can fire. Oh, where was that? The Barista, we just saw it burn the beam into this thing. Because I want to make sure this thing is dead. We're going to battle short. Unfortunately, this is what happens when you have mediocre track quality and you're trying to just cook a little bit. Come on.
Waiting orders.
All right, well, that's good enough for us. Anyways, we'll just move ourselves down and along here. Shuttles have basically no damage reduction, so this thing got pretty toasted there anyways. Once the Barista has done cycling its weapon, it will be able to fire another burst. I do kind of want to put a bullseye back on these. As you see, the track error on a frontline radar is not great. Frontlines have, by default, 30 meters of error, which, as you see here, is kind of having a little bit of skills issued. We could clear this the hard way, which is just running into it with our ship. However, these are Mattock regular mines along with some sprint mines, so even if we decide to like full YOLO in, we probably won't get it. In this case, we're just going to beam into the ship, and that should be a kill. Don't hear alarms, unfortunately, but oh well. We'll just presume that that thing is in fact dead as we move closer to the rock here and then start doing other stuffs. Oh, we hear missile launch somewhere. What do you got? Hello, there's another shuttle coming out to play. All right, and a cargo feeder too. Interesting. Luckily, we have some guns to actually take that out. Okay, yep, so we are going to have you hold fire since we can confirm that that ship is in fact dead. So, a lot of stuff has happened this game. We're trying to clean up shop now as we have to take our lead back. We know that the enemy has a bunch of mass drivers, so their tonnage is mainly on the outside of the map. As we see here with our scout, we are able to finally identify where they are at. So we'll just rotate our heading and roll accordingly, trying to get them a better lock if possible. Keep ourselves moving along here, just try and find their stuffs. Remember, if you can see them, you can shoot them. So, okay, so there's a shuttle here. Luckily, this has been cleaned up by our CLs. We just need to now get ourselves back and going into the game as I burn maximum flank speed towards the B point. Any mines there should have been cleaned up by that reactor explosion, I hope, so we'll be able to take this. I think that... Ooh. Okay, well, that happened. That's one way to clear a minefield, kids. Ah!
All personnel, abandon ship.
Ease clear. Oops. Well, it's all yours. All yours, Uncle. Whoops. We totally meant to do that. Yep. Sacrifices had to be made, okay? It's worth it. All right, we're going to try and burn you onto the A point because we really need to get caps now. Make sure you don't have a heading command. Okay. You know what? Yep, I served the Soviet Union. There we go. Let's try and get that A cap. If we get all the points, they will not be able to win with just their mass drivers and stuff. We've cleaned up pretty much all of their assets that I'm aware of. They've still got this cargo feeder, which I'm betting was the mine layer. They're just moving on to the point now. They have RPF rounds to clear up this stuff and defenders. They can take a mine hit or two. Here we see just like the slow mines going here. Yeah. Let's see. Defenders, yep, just running in a straight line. No sprint mines. They should be fine. Please shoot the... Thank you. Yep, there you go. Target priority. So we will get mass driver here, which hurts, but mass drivers will not kill this thing, so it should be able to zombie on the point long enough, and it means that they're not shooting me. So luckily, my ships have survived long enough that I'm able to get these caps here. As for you, you are going to go over and beam that sucker right there, so we'll just try and move you closer. Yeah.
We're on the way.
Welcome to Catboy plays Cat Fleet.
Go ahead, Command.
Wait.
We're being jammed.
No, that's not right. Hang on. Catboy plays Cap Fleet. Yes, that's what I meant. I am good at the English language and that. What the heck? Okay, do I have anything for you? I do not. Crap. Okay, well, we're gonna have to try and contest here, which sucks. That's gonna be rather unfortunate. We'll buy ourselves some time, but I'm probably gonna have to go down there with actual missiles. I have a counter to jamming in this case, so we'll see if we can't cap the A point, since I don't believe they have any scouting for us. I see. The Americano is unfortunately taking hits. We did use its entire combat load, so we'll have to quickly evade. Trying to keep the reinforced CIC and drive alive. Main engine is also quite low. We'll try and prioritize repairing that now that we've got the CIC fixed. We'll see if we can't find cover. There is something over here, which is rather annoying. We'll burn through and see if we can't track it. There it is. Give ourselves an attack marker for reference. All right. Where are you? The Barista over here. Because it is one of our few combat-capable ships, we're actually going to send it to the B point as well. Just going to clear our heading and roll command. That way we should get it. Hopefully. B has a ship on it, though. So I'm just going to warn them about the various things we got going here. Yeah, you can see a reactor bloom actually covering our approach here in the mid. You can see them with a bunch of shuttles coming our way. So we're going to have to see if we got something to handle that. Let's see. Okay, so we do get command lock here. These spin bunkers are a little bit out of range. 5 kilometers max on that, unfortunately. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that this fleet is still in there. If we get this cap, then we will be good either way. I'm going to test fire the waters here with just a cheap little fly swatter missile. See if these are, in fact, still alive or not. Let's see. Spyglass here needs to move up and get into the enemy's backline to get a proper good scout off on them. The Americano is able to actually cap the point here, although it's we're basically just going to have to zombie here and hope that they aren't able to kill us. So that is our goal. Keep the CIC repaired. We're also going to repair the reinforced locker here. That way it is able to split damage effectively. We'll orbit command here to make it a little bit evasive. There we go. Cortado, hello you. This is going to hurt a lot. So in this case, we see that they have jamming. We are going to fire our home on jams on target then. Since I'm expecting not to live very long here, we're just going to fire what we got. Expecting them to be rushing right at us. We're also going to fire off a fly swatter at the same vector. Unfortunately, we do lose our launcher just before that one goes out. So I'm expecting them to continue jamming here, although I can't really tell because all of our stuff is getting knocked out and our radar doesn't work. That said, this might get locked on. Let's see. We are getting a 4 cap here. Maybe a lock, maybe question mark. This is going after a jammer. Let's see it. Womp womp. That's why CMD Hodge is good. All right, as for you, Intel Barista, we need you to try and kill that off. We might be able to win this with a 4 cap, question mark? Okay, actually, threat right there. I believe this can be taken out by, maybe not. Okay, so that's going to be something we'll have to clear first and foremost. All right, minor adjustments first. So we got to take out that cargo feeder by going here. And then we'll see what we can do from there. Just got to lock onto this thing and pew, stop flanking ourselves to death. Fix our main engines, please, and thank you. As for over here, unfortunately, we do not have any weapons left. I should include a ceremonial arming missile for 1 point instead of the chaff that I've got, because if we take a look here, you see I still have some chaff, so I have enough as we turn out. If I had a ceremonial arming missile left over instead of the fly swatter that I'd kind of used up against this thing, I would still be able to cap the point here. Unfortunately, we are going to lose the B cap. I don't know if we'll be able to make the caps in time. We're going to have to really contest here. We got our CLs trying to go places. Our destroyers were still guarding the D side. I assume there's still some stuff threatening over here and that they didn't move up. Probably our team just getting suppressed by the mass drivers has kept them under a rock most of the game, so they've not been able to really do much there. We're going to try and see if we can't get the, scout off on these mass drivers here. We know where some of them are at the very least, and they've not scouted our spyglass. Let's see. Once you finally lock onto target, this should be able to kill that. This ship is still technically alive, and we're going to make sure that this one is not. Yep. Lock on, and you are approved for fire. Need to hold you right under the rock here. I'll flip the thing over so then we can tuck you right next to it. There we go. That way the mass drivers will not be able to hit you, ideally, once you get lock on target. Again, points are getting very tight right now. They brought a lot more capping assets. I only have so much cap fleet to really go through stuff. Like, I'm not the best cap player either. I'm just trying to make this all work as I frantically mash my keyboard and make all the monkey gremlins that live inside of my brain do their jobs. Let's see. Our destroyer is going to hopefully fire its beam any second now. Yep, you are approved for God damn it. It overshot and then it booped into the rock. Okay. Now, if you would be so kind as to finally get onto target. Yeah. So, unfortunately, our team has just kind of been stuck in the D point. We needed to spread out a little bit sooner. I should have made that call. I didn't realize that we had all kind of gotten suppressed like that. So, as a bit of an oopsie on my part, want to try and direct people when you see things and plays to make. If you would be so kind as to beam this thing. Actually, we're going to get a little fancy here. Because that track is kind of garbage, we're going to instead fire our beam on position here, like so. That should be right in the middle. All right, now we're going to enable battle short, and we will see instead, yep, just cooking right into it. So we're just going to fire until this thing basically cooks down. Come on, buddy. You should be toasted by now, right? There we go. That's the sound of a ship being toasted, so that thing is royally dead. We have to get that point, though, which is going to really suck. We're the closest one to it, so less than ideal. Still, okay, we're going to let our allies deal with that. We know that mass drivers will kill us if we go there. We can see their mass driver array now. Finally managed to get here. This is just Nix's Eye in a nutshell. Mass driver array, mass driver array, mass driver array, command cruiser Ocello with a bunch of railguns and counter jamming. You can even see it firing rails. So, yep. Oops, welcome to Nix's Eye. Hee hee. Okay, we are scouting all the enemy assets out here, so this is good for us. We're going to keep our nose pointed down, cancel our flank, and just hopefully get our ship fixed a little bit. We only have one damage control team, so they're working overtime, making that money. You can see their cargo feeders and stuff here, along with their line ships and mass drivers. So we needed to push the front line a little more aggressively than we did. If I had kept a missile, I'd be able to hold on to this point, because they just can't quite kill me here, which is very nice. But unfortunately, yeah, struggling against that. Let's see if we can't get over here. I believe I lost, yeah, the antenna, unfortunately. So we're going to have to just eyeball this. All right, we're going to set our heading. Where are you? Oop, ceasefire, please. Thank you. Set your heading over that away, and then we'll try and fire on that. So we're going to do a little... It's not exactly a cheat. It's just a useful tool. We're going to use a attack marker here, because we cannot see this since we don't have an antenna. With that said, we're now able to fire our beam onto that track, so we'll preemptively aim at it. There we are. We're also getting a sense of where we can point our heading command.
Can't do it, it's too far.
There we are. Let's set this over here, and because now they are detecting me, I'm going to fire my jammers as well in that direction. Ta-da! Like so. Aha. So now they should no longer detect me. Yep, as you can see, we had disappeared from their radars there, so we just need to keep ourselves going towards that target. As you can see them moving ever so slightly off. Ooh, they're taking the sea cap behind us? What? How did they get over there? Ah, damn it. I moved off all my assets to get here. So unfortunately, cap fleet has gotten wrecked. I only had so much stuff left in the bank at the time. The spyglass is still not detected. We're just going to keep it where it is. That way we're able to see everything most of the time anyways. I'm not sure why the nose is refusing to point down. The roll command might be screwing with that a little bit. I know when you roll your ship fully over like a dog like this, you know, dogs with the little like arms up, kind of on their back, belly rub style, it does make the ship behave a little bit silly, so that might be it. All right. Ooh, unfortunately here, yeah, we're taking a bunch of hits. They must have gotten a lock on us somehow. I'm not sure how they did that. Yeah, in this case, we're seeing now just what happens when mass drivers hit destroyer. We don't really have any shot at taking this thing out, unfortunately. I did manage to jam, but they must have a like radar array up there. Yeah, we're within Bloodhound range, so it's no surprise that they managed to sweep down here. I don't think we're going to win this despite all the effort we gave. We just got stuck under a rock too much. We needed to make a flanking maneuver, and we just didn't end up having it. Looks like our battleship here, the snide track, ended up going kablooey as well, so we lost a lot of our front line. We do still have many of our military assets. If we had more time, we could probably cap out, but again, we didn't counterplay what they were doing correctly. We do have some of the counter, which is the hang-up jammers, but we don't have enough of them close enough to counter their Ocello, which is a very good tool. Like I mentioned before, the Acello has the CR75 antenna by default, which is very strong because it can overpower some of the shouting that comes from the comms array. So in turn, you have to silence the Acello with your comms jamming, because that way it can't hear anything on the receiving end. The antenna only works as transmit power. It does nothing for receiving. So CR10 and CR75, they receive exactly the same. Usually there might be like 1 or 2 points of like slight filtering, but yeah, unfortunately we are going to lose on a 4 cap here. We tried our best. 8 point, again, we never really got a chance to get onto that. When we did, we end up getting hit by a combination of shuttles and all of their mass driver array. They just set up themselves all the way up at the top. If you look at this though, this is like, what, like 2.5, maybe 3 fleets just of stuff up here just chilling, hanging out. So if we had taken the time to like win the frontline fight and keep ourselves alive, we could have hugged the rocks very well, kind of like scuttled around, pushed them off the points, and then they would not have anything to go down here. We did clean up pretty well. We just never got it in time. A lot of our ships here, specifically these CLs, are very vulnerable to mass driver fire. These small guns in particular, they have very low damage threshold. So a single mass driver round will hit and knock these things out, which is really unfortunate. So yeah, in this case, not a exact like horrible game or anything in that sense. Just I'm a little disappointed that we didn't capitalize on the enemy's plays and positions, because I was under the presumption they were mass drivering. I should have tried to get my scout around sooner and then get a scout off like this, because we see where all of them are and we can now accordingly plan for where they are firing from. Oh well, I was trying to keep myself alive and also doing other silliness at the time, so there. Yeah. See them trying to fire a grape shot here to actually kill me. If you're struggling to kill a Corvette like this on a point and you're like using a gun shuttle, actually use grape shot instead of high explosive. I know that high explosive makes the most sense for trying to like inflict damage against a soft target like this, but grape shot will importantly kill off the damage control teams. Corvettes have a 60% crew vulnerability, if I remember my numbers right, and grape shot is a ridiculous like crew damage multiplier. So we'll give them a GG. They fought well in that, even though they were filthy mass driver arrays. But anyways, yeah, use grape shot. It will kill off the damage control teams, and then if the CIC and stuff are red, then you'll just be able to actually kill the ship before you kill the whole reinforced stack in the front there. Because if we take a look, it was the, where was it? Yeah, here it is. It was the Americano. We still have our auxiliary steering, our reinforced mag, our reinforced CIC. We lost the reinforced DC, which is a bit of a bummer, but still, like, we were able to wither a huge amount of incoming fire there. It wasn't until they started hitting us with the grape shots that we actually ended up losing things there, so. You can see, again, just a whole bunch of them, mass driver, mass driver, mass driver, mass driver. If your enemy is spamming something and you are not punishing them, that's on you. So, we're going to take our intermission here. We'll be back in 3 minutes. I have to refill my water bottle, and we'll go in from there and go about things. Yeah. Oh. Mass driver array, mass driver array, mass drivers, railguns, mass driver. Yeah, so we should have just overrun their front line. Oh, well. All right. I'm pretty happy with our cap fleet, though. We did kind of our job. See you in 3 minutes, chat. Okay? Okay. Alrighty, everyone, we are back from our little break there, so we're gonna hop back into some Nebulous. Area official number 5 might be a slot open, maybe. Oh, nope, unfortunately is not. We hop into Spectator in that. We're just gonna look to play some more games today. I'm feeling pretty good. I think I've still got like 1, maybe 2 more on me before I have to go today. I do have a scheduling appointment thing at 8 o'clock, so I'll have to dip out at that time. That's 8 o'clock Eastern, for anyone wondering. I'm Eastern time zone. There's Operation Burning Lance. I do want to play more Operation Burning Lance. I played it one time with a friend, and it was a lot of fun seeing kind of the like expanded Nebulous gameplay into like 4 factions instead of just the base vanilla 2. There's also some other fun mods like what's it? I think it's like Vanilla Plus or something. It adds a bunch of ships that we don't normally have. Things like little strike craft or carriers. Kind of people had the idea of making them, and they kind of worked from my understanding. I think they're a little bit jank just due to some of the like mechanical things in the game, but it's also a mod, so there's only so far you can take that. I think that we'll just probably hop into one of the area officials then. Let's see, is there any games going on? So there's quite a few people on tonight, actually. See some custom games going on at the cliff. See some of these in-progress ones, switchbacks. I've got 2 servers up here. Nice to see. I thought there was only 1 switchbacks. Anyways, what do we want? You know, area official number 3, Arroyo. Arroyo is kind of fun. I think that the version on area officials is still bugged. They may have updated it. They may not have. Remember, there's a weird thing where, like, some of the hitboxes for the asteroids, they don't line up with the visuals, so it's a bit of a, well, kind of a problem when you think that you're, like, going to go around a rock and you just slam face first into it, because it's like, partially invisible, 4th dimensional chess kind of style, so, yeah. Let's see, we could play some stuff. So, I do very much like that new iteration of the cap fleet. The 4 torpedo ships feels quite good. I just need to be a little bit better about managing my various missiles and stuff. In that case, too, we deployed the beam destroyer with a whole bunch of other beam destroyers, which was kind of a waste. If we deployed our beam destroyer to guard like our home point, that would have been much better. Because the C point, we did see it get threatened multiple times. We were able to deploy torpedoes against it pretty well, but again, we just kind of struggled to get that like final closeout kill deciding thing. Let's see, if we go ahead and check here, I do want to get like a missile I never fire, so these are always considered armed. I could probably trim a chaff. I do like the spin bonkers. The spin bonkers are kind of cool. The idea being that it is a 7-point size 1 missile. So don't get me wrong, this is expensive. But hear me out on this. Command guidance, because OSP can't jam that. You're going to guarantee that you're going to hit something here. All right? You got the direct guidance mode here with a corkscrew on minimum angle. I guess you could go free approach as well, but honestly, it's probably fine. We'll just revert that back. You got maximum size, high explosive impact. If you're using offensive S1s, you should really be maxing this out. This thing has about 5 kilometers worth of range, 5.7 G corkscrew at 250 meters a second. So comparing it like to a torpedo, this thing's quick. It's not got a lot of health, but it's damn quick. So you're able to use this thing, and ideally you'll fire this alongside one of your torpedoes. The idea with the torpedo being that you just send this thing out, the point defense turret prioritizes it, and then they get hit by a spin bonker. In practice, I just kind of panic dump fire everything and then hope for the best. So results may vary. I do kind of like the idea of it, and I've experimented with them a bit. I've also got my little fly swatter missile, which is the cheap version. This has just got steerable act seeker and no terminal maneuvers, so these are just meant to be like, oh, hey, you still exist. Okay, I'm going to fire one of these off. These were originally just the kind of dummy missiles that we had, but I decided that I wanted to make something offensive with them. I think realistically, I should just try and save up for more spin bonkers, or just go with like a single cheap size one, kind of like fly swatter missile. I'm not sure. Because if I save, like, let's see, across these, I can, like, trim these down. That gets me, like, 16 more points. So that's enough for, like, a spin bonker or 2. I guess I could get a spin bonker onto the barista here, which has its nice little beam turret, and that is pretty good value. Yeah, okay, let's do that. We'll give you a spin bonk, because I can fire 2 of them at once. It's just 10 points over, so if we just trim these down a little bit like so, and we just remember never fire the fly spotters, that will be fine. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's also some merit to running Wake Seekers. Like, unironically, a size 1 like Wake Seeker missile has its use in Corvette versus Shuttle, because the idea is the Shuttle's constantly trying to like run away or maneuver. You just fire off the Wake Seeker towards the general direction of the enemy, and it'll eventually sniff them and kind of heat seeker into them. So there's some merit to that. We're still 2 points over, so did we trim the missile off everything? I think we did. Okay, so we can probably just trim some more chaff somewhere then. These don't really need chaff, honestly. Like, they exist, and as we saw last game, if they get looked at funny, they die, so we'll give them like a little bit of chaff as a technicality. This way, the barista is able to fire off 2 command guidance spin bonker missiles against the enemy shuttle that might be creeping up on it. That's my cheap little counter in case I get flanked. This way the beam cannon can still fire. I've got the blanket jammers to ideally mask myself if something is trying to zap me. So these both nicely mounted on the bottom so I can double layer them very easily. I guess I could put these on the top and bottom so I get at least one jammer on target at all times. That's something I'll have to consider in terms of my layout and stuff. I do also want a bullseye, as we saw last game. It was kind of unfortunate seeing our stuff just kind of fly off there, so... I know that 2 blanket jammers will hide me, but I am also thinking, like, I do want to get that precise damage in. Kind of leaning towards it. So with the bullseye, I believe we still will need the plant control center. And let's see. Yeah, unfortunately we will, because otherwise our point defense just needs to not be firing. I guess with the blanket and the bullseye, then we can fire everything and our point defense works. That would mean that our bullseye would short out first, though, if the point defense turrets start firing, so that could be problematic in case we lose a lock. All the little things you have to consider. Destroyers are an interesting puzzle that I've toyed around with a little bit. I haven't quite gotten perfect with them, but... So there's potential there. Let's go back to running the plant control center on you, because that seems pretty good. I think that just running the bullseye and the blanket like this is the way to go about it. I could also run, like, where is it? What's it called? I can't think of the word right now. Wait, can I not run it in this? Here it is, small reactor booster. I could run one of these. Alternatively, I could also ditch a focused particle accelerator for a micro reactor here. This way we're only running 1 FPA, but it means we can ditch that plant control center, saving us some points as well. Actually... Huh. Well, that works. Actually, it works pretty well. Cool. And to get rid of that annoying notification, we'll just swap our berthing back to here. There we go. And yeah. I kind of like that, actually. We get our pinpoint lock. We've got jammers in every direction, so we can lock onto something and, like, ideally we'll get 1 jammer on it and then double layer to hide our destroyer. Raider driver popping out of cover. Okay. I think we're going to go with that. We'll make this one the top jammer now. Name it top jam accordingly. There we go. Save fleet. 1 or more weapons not assigned to group. It says if we swap back, it will then update and register that, yes, they are in fact assigned. So we got our 2 spy ships here. We've got our little naked A-capper just meant to go into the point. 161 points. There we are. Nice even 160 points, so we don't have to think about that too much. We've got these ships here with their double fishtails, good for insta-stage. These are a little bit gimmicky because they do have the fast startup module, which gives me a 20% failure rate. So, like, every, I don't know, 5th missile is probably going to go oops. So that is a error. That said, it cuts our programming down to like 5 seconds. So if I really need to dump a missile fast, as we saw happens quite a bit in this game, then these are there for it. So yeah, pretty happy with those. Save fleet. We're going to return to lobby and see if we can... You know, I played this fleet last time around. I think I might want to swap over to something a little bit different. I do like playing my axe repair, but I feel like they are kind of... How do I describe it? It's like a little bit, you know, plain vanilla. I want to like keep exploring. Like, I've played these before. I know what I'm doing with these. I want to try something a little different to keep myself going. I've got the Crit Cats build, which is a bunch of railguns here, named with a little funny tail. Send names. I do like these quite a bit. I don't think that rails are in the greatest spot right now because there's just not the like target really to shoot at on OSP side. You can do good damage to like a monitor if you get it like in arc, but most of the time a monitor is never going to give you a shot. Similar deal with you like trying to shoot down the nose of an Ocello, but you don't see Ocellos that much either, so it's mostly just kind of bulk freighters, shuttles, and tugs, which you can still do damage to, but just seems like rail array struggles a little bit, because when railguns were like hunting ANS capitals back in the day, they were doing super good. They were also incredibly broken back then, but that's a little besides the point. I don't know, rails are in a weird spot. Like, on OSP side, they feel pretty good. Like, I saw a railgun Ocello last game, and that thing was able to put respectable fire, damage taxing a bunch of our ships, so... I mean, they have a purpose there, just, it's kind of a weird spot where it's like, this, it's not like a bad tool, it's just like you don't have a good target to hit with it. And like, don't get me wrong, railgun fire, like once you sustain fire on somebody and the fires and like debuffs and stuff build up, it is devastating. But I've got a battleship, which I never ended up finishing here. It's got a beam turret and some other silliness on it. The Silimon and the chips. I don't remember why I named that chips, maybe it's just the name it came with. Could just run Brothers, simple little frontline fleet. We got, all beam destroyers by the looks of it. Nice to see that. Could run Cap fleet in that case. I do kind of like being the like big centerpiece in this case, because we need something to exchange the little gunfight, but we also need something to run Cap. So, tell you what, we just finished tuning our Cap fleet. Let's try that then. We could also run the Cappuccinos, but I kind of want to try this style. We just finished adjusting it accordingly. There we are. This way, we're able to threaten the points with our missiles and stuff. We have a defensive beam destroyer because I'm expecting these to be run in like a big old group, and then they'll try and engage from that. So, I mean, Arroya, Oops All Beamstones is kind of a meme on it because the trenches are very fun to fight in, and usually you'll get some beam fights versus rockets and torpedoes and stuff down there. So, tell you what, we played this one last game. We're going to try it again this game, see if we can be a little less panicky, do everything around the map style. I was very taxed in my awareness last game, and I didn't quite realize what my allies were doing. I was too focused on all the various enemy tracks and stuffs. So, see if we can't do it a little better this time around. Yeah. Oh, I just realized we have Edgelord Supreme versus Microsoft Edgelord. It's a battle of the Edgelords! Yeah! A little sippy of water. All right, so this will probably be my last one today, so we're going to try and make it count and see where we go from there. Yeah. And I do like Arroya. I don't know, it just, something about this map, I kind of wish this was like a vanilla map. It's just, it's light, so you don't have to deal with like some of the shadiness you get like on Tombstones, where it can be very hard to spot ships and stuff, just because the like lighting is deliberately dark. Arroya, it looks reasonable enough. It's like, oh, this could be like a big dusty nebula kind of cloud thing, or I don't know, like a gas giant area, something kind of like that. It was like, yep, it makes sense why it's all like orangey kind of canyon style. It's got the same sort of rock style to it. It looks like a big donut, and it's kind of fun to fight on. You got some nice open laneways if you want to do long range fights. You got some nice close quarters. The trenches are incredibly fun. You can do some fun rotations around the backside where the kind of like two C shapes kind of meet each other. I'll show you in a second what I'm talking about. Just waiting for everyone to load in now. Yeah. Just waiting for other players and stuff, and we'll go from there. I wonder if it's like MechWarrior if I wiggle my ears. Hey, it does work like that. Excellent. So, again, welcome to Arroya. There's asteroids out on the little periphery bits here, so you can hide some stuff. We are going to tuck our beamstone down here. The idea being that we go towards this little rock here, and then we get that. The red eye is going to zoom towards the A point with hopes of capping it with the thing there. That's... Aww. Rehost. So we must have just lost a player there, unfortunately. We're just going to quickly disconnect, and then we'll hop back into that one. Don't want to look at any of the fleets and stuff. We'll just see if that one gets back up or not, or we'll join another server. Killboard has a bunch of players on it, but I don't think that that is going to be us. We can hop on to Miramain, I think, here. Should work. Let's see. Go. Vote map. Arroya. I think that should be it, and I should be able to vote with just... Really? I had one vote and I failed. All right, let's try that again. Vote map. Arroy. Yes. There we go. All right, we set it up again. Let's do this thing. We'll get the same ideas we had. Probably they just disconnected, like having a map error load, or sometimes you can crash from like getting things. So there's different options that could have happened there. We'll just see if we can't get that lobby rehosted in that. They should be exiting out of the other one because a bunch of people dropped out. And yeah, we'll see if we can't get ourselves the rematch on that proper. So I guess that wasn't my last match of the day. This one probably will be, and we'll just see if everyone can hop in and get going in that. Yeah. So I did mention that Arroyo may or may not be bugged. We possibly can see it. Like I said, some of the hitboxes on the asteroids were desynced. As far as I'm aware, Arroyo, like when you host it yourself, is fine. I just think that the area official servers might have been loaded with a bad version. And again, I don't know when the area official servers get updated or not, so it could have been fixed in the time since. We will see. The Torp CLs. Okay. Seeing a lot of that. So they've got two little guns there to wrap up, but they've also got a lot of torpedo strike. I saw a video recently, kind of a guide showcasing how to torpedo CL that, and I would say that I think torpedo CL is good, but it's like, it's kind of like a weird niche. It's like, it's a very all-in play, and I think you can get similar effectiveness out of just like a 600 or 700 point beam destroyer. But at the same time, like, there is some merit, because like Torp Cello is really, really good, so maybe Torp CL can fill a similar niche. I don't want to like just write something off and calling it bad, but it's also, I think about something like, is this the best way of doing what we're trying to do here? It's like, try and weigh the pros and cons of it. So, I also did like the editing on that video, so I'll just see if I can't do some of my own guides, how to get that kind of style of content out there, because, I mean, hey, if anyone can make bad ideas, it should be me doing it, right? Let's just reveal our little fleet here, trying to play our Cat and Callout version number 3. Yeah. I feel like I do need to start like making some more ANS fleets because I feel like most of the time I'm playing OSP. Part of it is that people just like gravitating towards ANS because it's one new player friendly since they're the tutorial faction, and a bunch of their ships they're a little more intuitive to design. Then you get a bunch of people who just want to play Battleship and stuff. And I mean, hey, respect if you just want to play Battleship. It's not my personal favorite hull, but I mean, I guess some people just want to manage one ship only, and that's their thing. So yeah, let's see if we can't get ourselves a lobby back up. I'm kind of wondering where everyone else went. Maybe they waited for the server to hop over and went with that, or maybe we're just like, I don't know, stuck in like a weird point where they said, oh, well, I guess the map didn't load. I'm going to go, I don't know, have dinner or something. So, we'll see. Got Hands Bones over here with a lovely Key Smash fleet in that. So we'll just see if we can't get ourselves a game up. Yeah. I think about tuning this thing a little bit more, because as you all know, if you go into the fleet editor in the lobby, then it instantly fills up and everyone yells at you to get back into the game because you're holding them up. Fun little Nebulous fleet command jokes. Anyways. I'm pretty happy with the way we've got these things kitted. 2 insta-stage hybrids for when we need to boop somebody on the snoot are very good. We got CMD home on jam. That way we've got command guidance for when we want to like direct a strike into somebody. At the range we're firing at, the track error we get off our radar, which is about 25. Let's say this is about half our range, firing these like 4 kilometers, give or take. No like, reference exception. Strange. Okay. Not sure why that happened, but yeah, with that, we get like a 12-meter error. That's perfectly good for firing a torpedo on. I've not seen these miss because the seeker was bad. I've seen these miss because, you know, I may or may not have skill issued and got my antenna shot out or something like that. So, pretty happy with CMD home on jam. I could try the ACT CMD validator combo, which works pretty well. They are tracking off the ACT seeker instead. Those are a little more vulnerable to being jammed, though, so we have to consider that. With the amount of chaff we have, we got a single fly swatter, 2 spin bonkers. I'm pretty happy with the missile payload for our torpedo ships here. They are fairly tough with their 392 points. So we've got the Ox, the Reinforce, and the Reinforce. I could also cheap out on these if I so desire, but part of the reason why I want these is to have them kind of zombie on a point, ideally. Got Reinforce just everything on it. Probably going a little cheaper, could try and get us another ship or 2 in there, but that is something I'll have to consider. If I could drop these down to close to like 300 points, I might be able to squeeze another torpedo ship in, which is quite nice to have. Our little naked A-cap are just kind of a obligatory thing to take along, because you need something to go out and get onto the point. There's going to be mass drivers or missile ships or just grape shot or basically anything watching a point, so kind of a toss-up on that. Pillar's A point is notorious for this, where you see like a shuttle go onto it, it gets hit by a beam destroyer lurking in the little kill pocket there, and then in turn any corvette that goes out there gets hit from 8 kilometers by grape shot. So it's just kind of a neutral toss-up, but you need to have a cheap ship to kind of make plays like that, which you can just throw them at. That's also why early in the stream we had so much success with the little kind of like cap point donation ships, where we had our shuttles that cost only 86 points, which again I think is an absolute steal. You should run those in like pretty much every fleet. It is a really cheap way to check a corner. If you invest like a little bit more points, you can get a Ithaca on them and a reactor as well. That's an extra 20 points, I guess. So that does mean that you're able to actually scout with them. Having a scout ship check a corner instead of like blindly walking into, say, a beam or a torpedo boat or rocket strike or anything like that. Scouting is incredibly good, and I cannot stress enough the value of being able to see what your enemy is doing and react to it preemptively rather than like post-emptively? I guess post-emptive reactivity? That's a weird phrase. Anyways, I'm just rambling on about things, but yeah, scout out your stuff, figure out what the enemy is doing. If you don't know, assume the worst, because if you look at the rock that you haven't scouted the entire game, you think to yourself, I would like to tuck a rocket shuttle into this, or a little package of sprint mines, or something else cheesy like that. There's a good chance your opponent has thought the same thing, and they're going to be setting up like that. That said, don't fall victim to like mad paranoia thinking that there's mass drivers in your walls or like beamstones under every rock. Just play according to what you see, and then also kind of fill in the blanks saying like, okay, well, we've not seen like a bunch of enemy stuff. Like last game, we didn't see the enemy fleet for most of the match, but we know there's mass driver fire coming in, so there got to be somewhere out there. That's kind of the thinking process that you want to get to essentially improve at the game. I don't say that you have to play like super sweaty tryhard all the time, running like the absolute meta perfection fleets or anything. I just say that like understanding how to play the game well and how to improve yourself at it is going to lead you to having more fun, because a lot of the fun is improving and getting better. Hang on. That boy didn't at you. Anyways, I guess I could probably move this pinard back to here, but I do kind of like how it insulates against the bottom here. Like they have to blow this up and then they get their shots in here, so maybe that is for the best actually. We'll keep it that way. Anyways, we'll hop back to the lobby. Kind of surprised we're like just waiting on people because I mean it's a 6 out of 8 lobby, so there should be people hopping in pretty fast. Well, show that I'm bringing the fleet here. So we got big old battleship here. You can see this one has the redundant antenna. Good choice. We got our pair of the torpedo and gun CLs. For the idea with the torpedoes is that you try and weaken a bunch of stuff with them, and then the gun is able to kind of mop up that. Gun is very important for hitting damage breakpoints because high explosive impact missiles, they can only deal 50 damage per ray, and then that's reduced by your damage reduction, blah, 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 mechanics that are kind of obtuse and explained sort of somewhere. Nebulous is, like the name would imply, a little bit nebulous with the way its mechanics and all these different things layered together. You can end up making something that seems quite good on paper, but because there's a weird obtuse mechanic you didn't understand, it can end up being a little bit poor. So I would like to see some better transparency communication about like how the different mechanics work, because a lot of it is still kind of very napkin math, like trying to figure out roughly how things work. So maybe a couple showcase videos would do that well. I might put those together again. I do need to make some long-form Neb content, or by long-form I mean like probably a 5-minute guide, since that's easily digestible and you can get a sense of what I'm talking about half the time. I know a lot of my viewers just kind of like tune in and say, oh, hey, Nebulous, that's a fun spaceship game, and then I start talking about component DR, damage thresholding, and just all this other random stuff that I can see their eyes glaze over like, ah, right. I want to see spaceship blow up, so. Oh well, that's my bridge to burn when I get to it, but yeah. In terms of comp, I like this. We got a frontline fleet. We got kind of a, I'd say it's a little gimmicky, but it can also work pretty decently. These could also be running hybrids and stuff. I mean, they are called Torp, but hey, they can fit hybrids in there. I mean, I fit hybrids in mine, so. We've got Edgelord over here with probably just a big old push of like 4 beamstones, if I had to guess. We got Telephys, the 250mm cultist, coming in here. Know them from the Discord, so we're just going to see if we can't get a lobby up and then play some. Yeah. Hoping to get one more in today. I can see it ticking closer towards 8 o'clock, and I do have to go, so there's like part of me that's like, I really want to get this game underway. It's like a 7 out of 8 lobby, but it's like, we just need one more. So if you're on the edge and you want to hop in now, area official number 6, we are 7 out of 8, just looking for one more player now. Yeah. I'm gonna take a big sippy because I've been rambling nonstop for a while. Here we go. If I magically wiggle my ears up and down and back and forth and stuff, then maybe we'll do it like with loading screens where somebody will hop in. Yeah. Hey, it worked! Yippee! Can't believe that worked. It is magical. They say that you can't control people with ear floof. Ha! All right, we're going to ready up with what we got. I feel pretty confident with what we're going to run. Oh, hi, Frozen Garden Flower. That's a cute little emote. What is that one? Yeah. Yep. I'm going to give you the big ear floofies. As you see, I'm able to evade crimes in Nebulous because I am very cute. Otherwise, I'd be prosecuted for firing on life pods and dropping mines around already dead ships. To which I plead Teehee Owo colon 3. Alright, anyways, let's get this underway. Waiting for you, Bones. Alright, there we go. Alright, we are underway. Let's get this game on. So, we're going to do some silly Nebulous action. We're playing against some gold, so they probably have some decent fleets. We are playing with the gold of ourselves. I am 80% of the way to gold, I think. I'm a little afraid of getting the Commodore rank, because that means that, one, I've sunk a stupid amount of time into this game. I will say I've got, like, almost 1,000 hours of Neb played, and for, like, I think the $20 that I got the game for, that's pretty darn good. Other thing is that once people see gold rank, they think there's a massive skill difference between you and Captain. And to their credit, like, you have invested a bunch more hours and stuff. But at the same time, gold players and, like, midshipman players are kind of the same thing. It's a weird little funny thing how that kind of works out. Yeah. All right, we're going to send our scouts kind of, like, off to the side like we did before, trying to get them around the place and see things. We're going to control a bit of the left side of the map here with our little scouts and stuff. So I'm going to send the Cortado over here to the B point to cap it. I'm going to send the Americano down to the D point to cap it. And then I think we'll send the Latte into the trench here to try and control that angle. Beam will be here controlling the A point. I think that just having another ship on this side, that'll be best here. So we'll just send you over to control that flank. That controls a bunch of our flank avenues fairly well, and we should be able to lock down things as we need them. And yeah, we're going to see how it goes. We're going to try and rush a ship onto the A point. It probably won't work, but we have the beam destroyer ready to try and take out their ship doing the same thing. So we will see if we are able to get it. If we are, that's great. That means initiative falls into their hands, and they have to then do something. If it doesn't, then, well, oh well. We did the obligatory kind of cap the A point move, and we'll see how it goes. Do set flank speed, and as for you, the intel ship, you're going to set flank speed as well. The back, trying to get the camera angle set up right here. All right, there we go. Going for this, and we're going to try and zoom into the middle section there, right onto the point. Making best speed as we can. Going to have our ships now start moving about like so. You're going to go onto the B point here. I do like playing this fleet because a lot of people, they neglect to bring cappers or light scout assets. I think that pretty much every fleet in the game would be improved by taking a corvette or shuttle just to like try and cap. Again, this is a like generalized rule. There's certain exceptions. Like I run a pair of double Axfords because they are very good at, you know, direct combat fighting and stuff. We're actually going to try and threaten this from a second angle here. So I could go over here, but that would make me very late for the party. So if we show up here, we can then maybe poke out fire rockets and stuff into there. Yeah, I think that that's what we're going to do. We're going to actually take the Cappuccino and have it fly up along here and then dive into the trench like so. That way I'm able to threaten the A point from 2 angles. As for our Intel DD, we're going to set this thing up to fire on the A point. Here we can see that they are capping their point, respectively. Have this thing set to fire here. It should be able to rotate itself around and be ready for that. Our goal is to set it up, if we flip the map over like so, is to set it up so it overwatches the A point here. We're going to have it kind of tucked along here. There's the risk of the enemy being on the E point, popping out here and then shooting us. But in turn, we can expect that and have our beams ready to fire on that and also tuck ourselves into cover. So it's this kind of like, they're going to play a thing, I'm going to play a thing, and then we're just like planning like 5 moves ahead. It's kind of like chess in a weird way. I should have burned flank to get on the point. Either way, shuttles are a little bit faster than us, so they are going to get there sooner. Let's see, we're going to set our Cream and Sugar to rotate themselves like so. That way we should be able to get awareness around the map. There we go. Set you to go a little bit higher as well. You saw briefly we had a ELINT track there, so we can tell there's a early warning search radar down that away. That means there's something over here-ish. Gonna put like a warning marker around there because that seems about where I'd expect them. There we go. All right, so as we can see here, we are going to lock onto that thing and fire the beam in a second, trying to get onto the A point. That is expected because that's like about where our ship is coming from as well. You can see them both intercepting here. So we are going to just poke out here, and then ideally we will be able to jam this thing as well. Yep, there's the fleet in the back there, so we're also going to fire our jammers on this thing. And then go like this. Bloop, bloop. There we are. Jamming is provided. Ideally, this thing will lose track. The Cortado. Oop. There we are. So this thing getting cooked. Zap, zap. Now we are able to finish cooking that thing. So beam turrets are done. We're going to cease fire again like so. And then we're going to change over here and fire our jammers like that. There we are. They are able to briefly take us... well, they're able to get a lock, and we're able to then break that lock, so we're now going to move over here. That target is dead. We've counted the enemy's initial move, so we're going to move about like so. We can see their scouting assets going down low here. We're going to go on the outside. Okay, let's plan this accordingly. So Latte does not need to be there. We're going to have it move here. We see that there's multiple ships on the outside here. Cortado needs to come up this side really quick. We're going to have it flank speed there. Crap, I was going to have these cap the point. Okay, instead this is just going to be a scouting toy here. All right, as for you... we know that the enemy ships are over there, so we want to find ourselves into cover, like so. Gonna just tuck in there. Because again, we expect there to be line ships there, thanks to having a bit of map awareness and knowledge and stuff. Just gonna send ourselves down low to the edge of the map, like this. So we already see the enemy, we know how to counter them. That's a command cruiser. Okay, so that is definitely going to be a thing. As for you, Cappuccino, you need to dive a little bit down further. Okay, you're almost done capping the point here, so then you're going to get off and go over here. And yeah, this means that now the enemy has to make a move to get that point back from us. As you see here, we have finished breaking ourselves out. So we're going to go ahead and set ourselves to hold fire and just kind of align our beam in that sort of same general direction. That could be a real ship, that could be a fake ship. Either way, we're going to just mark that with an attack marker ping here, like so. They are positioned on a rock, kind of like we are. We're going to set ourselves with our heading about here. There we are. Yeah, that's going to be our plan anyways. That could be real. I think that might be them trying to bait me out here. There's a tugboat going around there. We're trying to keep ourselves aware of the point, so we're going to move down a little bit further, like so. Oop, okay, they have unfortunately spotted us, so we now have issues. We're going to pop chaff and then just shut down this. And with any luck, these are ARAD act, and we'll just instead go after that chaff. We're going to see. I can't really do anything against that with my with my Corvette. Let's see. So these are semi-active homing CMD valve. Okay, so just by breaking ourselves off of lock here, by shutting off our radar, we are able to avoid getting hit by those because they did not illuminate us. All right, let's see. The latte is spotted, unfortunately, probably by that very thing there. Yep. So we're just going to fire it into stage because we need the range. That should work against that thing. Program and launch. So it's their job to now try and take one of our points, and we're trying to counter exactly that. We'll turn on our radar once again since we're out of the Ocello's range. There we are. So missiles are out here. We're going to try and counter this. They detect us here, so we're going to pop chaff and shut down our radar. With any luck, these will instead go into the rock. They pop chaff again. I don't think that we'll be able to get these. We might be able to drive tank them. We're going to find out. I might have done it. Oops here. Oop. Crap. Okay, so that was actually an oops on my part. I turned us around too fast, and we're going to get hit by the follow-up volley. Crap. Okay, I probably could have just tanked those since those were just weave size 2s, and I think that with defenders, I'm able to take those hits. That said, we're going to get a cell cook-off here, and we need this drive to stop overloading. We're going to prioritize the cell cook-off, and just, we still have a thing we can salvage. So yeah, scram that. Okay, that's not great. That was an oops on my part by, like, a lot, so we'll have to deal with that. In this case, they are going to maybe get the cap here. Maybe not, because we should have a defensive asset in position for that. We'll just move you out of cover like so. And then we'll just have this thing jammed in a microsecond or two. And then you should be free to fire. Yes. So they are going to be over here, which is a problem, so we need to adjust accordingly. Oh, hi there. This thing needs to move now. Go. I did not realize the thing had rockets. Ag! Okay, so we're able to dodge one of those at the very least, thanks to our quick motion and stuff there. We are probably going to have to get back onto the A point here because I don't think that I got this in time. Yeah, they're able to correctly adjust to my play there. I did not correct for that. Okay, so in this case, then, we're going to use our counter play, which is to move the Cappuccino out here and then fire a torpedo into this shuttle since it has rocket and chaff. Okay, so yeah, we can probably torp that, I'm pretty sure. In this case, they see my Intel Destroyer since they know the game pretty well. They know where to shoot with it, so we're going to have to fix our reactor here, trying to hug close to the rock to avoid damage. Ow. Turn off flank speed because we won't be able to get it here. All right, as for you, Cappuccino, if you want to kindly fire 2 torpedoes on this target so you can take it out, thank you. That should be perfectly in range and fire for effect. 1 out, 2 out. We're also going to fire a spin bunker just to make sure, because they fired rockets. We're going to quickly adjust our heading, going upwards now if we can. Yeah! So it's now taking quite a few hits here, but luckily we're able to shoot them down with good defender placement in that. They've gotten the A point, so we'll need to try and move back and tap this again. We'll see if we can't get that with the red eye here. Should get some missile hits here. Yep, on target, ideally. And clonk. Alarms. Excellent. So that is us clearing up that point. Intel is not really doing so hot here, I'm not going to lie. We need to get this thing back up operational and whatnot, so we're going to just make sure it ceases fire, it doesn't do anything too silly. Its heading is good. We needed to adjust this thing because originally we saw those bulk freighters and we didn't correct for them. Edgelord should be able to drag some of them in here. We're just kind of playing this like standoff cap game. I have multiple different avenues that I can explore here for victory, so we just need to work on some of them. In this case, I'm keeping the Ocello over here scouted out with my various stuffs. I can move you a little bit lower to get better awareness here. So you can see we've got these bulk freighters here at about that range. The red eye has been locked onto here, but we should be able to get this cap, I think. As for you, that is going to be a issue. All right, so we're going to have to move the Cappuccino over here to ideally counter that thing, which is then in turn going to try and counter us. This is a wonderful, interesting little counter game. So,
We are being jammed. Ready to move.
all right, as for the latte, yeah, you're pretty well toasted. We'll get your drive back online so I could YOLO you onto the point if need be. As for you, you're just going to get fishtailed here, please, and thank you. Please insta stage, thank you.
We're on the way.
All right, this thing will be going onto the point and probably not making it back. If it does, I'll be very impressed. So you can see them firing up from top here. They have a pair of Ocellos. They're trying to get damage dealt with. The insta-stage missile, unfortunately, goes out at the wrong target. Okay, so we need to adjust for that accordingly. We're going to fire it like so. That should be good. Ideally, that will go to the tug. That's part of the problem. We're just trying to do the cheap, easy answer. Sometimes gets you a little bit punished. So in this case, we see them firing missiles off on us. These should be able to be shot down, I think. We're going to prioritize shooting these things and pop our chaff if we can. These are Axe CMD. Unfortunately, we do not have actually any turrets on this. Oops. Oh, well. Okay, so that will deny the ACAP, but with that said, we still have another asset that we can send on to point in a second here. This will get his drive back up online. The Cappuccino needs to make this play happen. We're going to now fire a torpedo at this tug. Since we should have our stuff to do that. There we go. Got 1 torp and then 2 torp, and then we're going to fire also a spin bonker like that, and then just that is going to be our payload. We need to make sure we clear up the enemy's assets here. As for you, we're going to have you lock on and fire your beam if you can. Should work maybe, sort of, kind of. Enemy fleet is engaging there. Let's see. Will the torpedoes hit? Yes, no, maybe so. That is going to be one hit, maybe? Can't tell yet. Spin bonker does work there, doing its job. Smacks in. There's the secondary hit. Cut Bluey. We know there's mines. We call that out to my team. Watch out for mines. Gonna call that there. Okay, anyways, you are good to go and fire. This will tell them that my beam is still operational, but I want this thing dead. So, fire for effect, please. Thank you. Fire jammers as well. And, yeah, if any second now would be great. It was the latte needs to get onto the point, which it will do so in a second. We're going to have it use its strafing thrusters, because, again, its stuff is kind of messed up. All right, let's see. So this thing has successfully torched this. There we go. We're going to have you cease fire, since this thing is, in fact, dead. There we are. Ta-da. All right, welcome to Cap Fleet Gaming. Yep. Anyways, here is a problem. That is a big salvo on our flank, so we need to fire onto these. Thank you. I did not realize just how much was overloaded on our flank there. You can see us lagging to hell. We're going to fire our early warning on that. Ah, crap, incoming. We need to fire our jamming on that, actually. Ah, crap. I did not realize just how many missiles they sent off. Okay, that's a very weird Acello. It's semi-active homing and a bunch of CMDs. They just decided, hey, we're just going to push you and, like, cope with it. So, that's rather annoying. That said, you know what? I'm going to torp him in response, because fuck you. Because fuck you, buddy. That's why.
Hi, Commander.
What does decoy point not work? I don't know. Sometimes it do, sometimes it don't. It's Nebulous, man. Anyways, we're going to try and threaten the caps here. I needed to do this a little while ago. I was a little preoccupied. Anyway, so Cappuccino is doing its job here. We're going to try... I can't get the C point because that is just outside of my bounds. That said, hi, buddy. Fire all torps on target. Just light this thing up. Because screw you.
We're on the way, Commander.
Screw you, dude. In this case, let's see. These are, yeah, just weird SAW CMD. So it's like, it's a Gale with a CMD validator. I don't see those very often. Anyways, we're going to fire torps and just hope that this thing does not have defenses against those. You know what? We're just going to full send on it. Screw you. You killed my shuttles. You die today. Yeah!
Aye, we're on the way.
Let's see. It does have Pavis, although Pavis will not help it against what I'm about to hit it with. It has some grazers as well. Yep, just dump the missile payload. Yeah, that's just a... It's not... Huh. That's a weird build. We do get hits, at least. So, unfortunately, Pavis is going to shoot down a bunch of our stuff here. Our fishtails do not get there in time, but I think that we get some hits in there. 1 hit only. Damn. All right. Well, unfortunately, it did have point defense. It is an Acello after all, so I mean, I guess I kind of should have expected that. As for what we have left, let's take a look. So the Cortado has just used most of its missiles there, which in hindsight was kind of a waste, and we're going to get missiled in return, but we might have annoyed them at the very least. The Americano is able to move around here at full speed, so we should be able to get onto the E point and get a cap advantage there. Honestly, I should have just seeded the A point and decided, yeah, I'm just going to lose this. Not worth it, man. But, oh well. I'm going to be stubborn and sit on the point here. They're going to send a tugboat here. They've got a whole bunch of little threats just pushing around. And, I mean, who expects, like, a semi-active CMD? Like, this is a Gale Spam CMD validated, like, Torpcello missile thing. That is weird. I did not expect that to come around the corner. I expected, like, a gunfighter Acello. And I just thought, oh, well, it's got, like, some missile backpack or whatever. Luckily, the bulk freighters over here are getting royally toasted by our fleet, so that's very nice. Here is the threat that we were talking about, the sprint mines. So unfortunately, we cannot get the E point here because those sprint mines will trigger on us. We had learned that lesson last game. With that said, though, let's take a look at the effective ranges on those and see if we can't figure out what we want to do. So, yeah, they're always going to be within, like, 2 kilometers of that point, so we won't be able to actually do anything there, unfortunately. That said, that tug down there, I don't know if we killed that one or not. I do kind of want to clean up assets here. The Americano is not scouted. We're going to fire off missiles on you and missiles on you and see if we can't get something done. Those are probably just their reserves we want to clean up. So we'll just fire off direct fire missiles there. We still have the, what's this? The sugar over here is able to keep some information going. Yeah, we unfortunately just got folded there. We put ourselves in the predictable spot with the beamstone and then did not correct our positioning. So again, we suffered because we stayed in the same spot and then ended up getting punished for it. So that's a bit to be expected. This tugboat is in for a bad day here. Let's see. Hybrids should be able to lock on and stage, and then that will clear that. I believe Edgelord might have RPF round. Doesn't look like it, just rebounds. Damn. Okay, so we're gonna need RPF to clear those. Either way, we see this thing take a hit here. Early warning act. All right. So this thing is in fact dead. We're gonna mark it as such. There we go. One killed. This thing is not dead, so we're gonna have to go after that. Let's see. The Cappuccino is still alive and active, so we might be able to do something here. I think I can actually go back and... We got the point? What? Let's go! Awesome! Yeah, just fix the drive and stuff. Cool. Cappuccino, you can't really do anything down here, so we'll just keep you around. The Americano, on the other hand, this is a good target here, so we're gonna just... Never mind, that thing is super toasted. Nice to see the beam doing its work. All right, so early warning assets getting cleaned up. Hello, Mr. Tugboat there. I have a treat for you, or at least I will in a second. We're going to fire a drumstick missile or two into you. Just a pair of torpedoes. That way we deal with that. Thank you. Pew pew. Torp launcher is going. We'll set off our flank thrusters because we don't need them right now. Enemy does have a point advantage, but we are bringing it back. Gonna have the Cappuccino on standby in case this thing has a nasty surprise. Here we see some shots out, but I don't believe that they will have enough to counter us. Double Pavis might do it, so we need to fire off our spin bonkers as well and see if we get... Actually, maybe we don't need... No, maybe? Come on, maybe, yes, no, come on. Yes, it's a good hit. Excellent. All right, so spin bonkers are gonna go out and hopefully clean this thing up. It's firing missiles in return. I don't like that. Fire more torps. This thing is kind of a problem right now. Luckily, our defenders, I think, will be able to shoot this one down. Come on, please. Defenders! Defenders! Ah!
Hostile fire inbound. Reactors offline.
Yes, launch. Come on, get him. Ah!
Talk to us.
All right, so we're going to sacrifice ourselves to get that point because we have expended all of our missile payload here effectively. Yep. Good missiles. Oh, let's go! You sprint mine friendly fire! Yoo-hoo! All right, so to explain what just happened there, the sprint mine's triggered on this thing because its antenna got shorted out. Because its antenna got shorted out, that means that it is no longer able to identify itself as friendly. So that in turn meant that it went kablooey. Yeah. Gonna ask if they can beam these sprint mines on E point because they can actually do that. I'm pretty sure. We just need to see what we can get back into the game with now. I'm gonna have my spyglass assets go around here. Anyways, Cortado is there. That is the Acello pair that has moved off of that point. Okay, that's interesting. So we're heavily crippled, but one damage control team is doing their best. Let's just put out the fire in the magazine and stuff first and foremost. All right, so A point is in their hands. The Cappuccino is ready to back cap, I think. Only one fly swatter missile left, so armed on a technicality. That said, I don't think the Acellos have a good answer to us, so we might be able to snake around into the backside here. Let's actually do this the super sneaky way, and we'll just go like all the way around like this. Try to keep myself out of their line of sight. So there's that Gale Spam Acello around the place that is doing sneaky things. Yeah, I want to stay away from that thing because it will probably still have missiles to get me. Just set this thing to flank speed and go from there. This thing should be... What the heck is happening there? Okay, those mines are still there, which is rather annoying. Not sure why the beam wasn't able to hit those. Rather interesting. Either way, a bunch of missiles firing off into the abyss there. We're able to keep ourselves kind of like low profile, trying to make it so we see them still, but are able to kind of like be sneaking around the edge of the map. It's the idea of the spyglass frigate anyways. Americano, I might sacrifice it to get on the point, but at the same time, I think we can just kill the beams. Not the beams, the sprint mines here. I think anyways. I'm gonna just double check on that because I don't want that thing to get booped. If I had to lose the Americano, it's already pretty toasted, so I'm just gonna push it onto the point and hope for the best. Here we see lovely Gale Spam going off. Just gonna try and do what we can here, shut off the radar and things. Won't actually make a difference, unfortunately, as these are semi-active homing. They illuminate us well. They have CMD Val, so very expensive. I didn't expect to play against an Acello with Gale Spam like that, so that is credit to them for like just originality. Like, that's not something I had accounted for when I first like drafted up this play. I'm like, yes, a Gale Spam Macello, that'll be a thing to play against.
Talk to us.
In this case, you see here we take a big old crippling hit. However, thanks to being reinforced, we are able to tank the hit on the point. So, at least we are able to stay kind of alive here. Love reinforced magazines and stuff as just like damage tanking. Because I think we only got hit by one of those. That means that we just get redded. We're still able to get the point here in this case. We're threatening a few things. I'm kind of just like playing dead with this thing right now because it looks like it's not a threat. As you see, the drive is offline, and we're just going to try and fix everything else until they go away. And then we will possibly head back up and do things. So yeah, you can see they have got a pair of Acellos here. I'm going to marker these. Just got to call it out. 2 Acellos on D sword. They go and get B, so that is something we'll have to deal with. That said, we control the underside of the map. A point is still a threat. I am going to go ahead and threaten the C point here in a second by keeping myself out of sight, out of mind, because I know exactly where they are going to be. Yeah. Should be able to... Yeah, I think this pathing is actually just fine the way it is. I was thinking of adjusting it, but I don't need to. If we take a look down here, I don't know what that is, so I'm going to call that one out. Question mark. There we are. Get ourselves back up online, operational, and whatnot, so it's going to be a little bit of fixing things. This thing is royally toast. Goodbye. Come on, pop your alarms. There it is. All right, so we're going to mark you down as killed. There we are. Is dead. There we are. Perfect. So, because we are trading caps and stuff around now, the enemy is pulling ahead a little bit on points, but we should be able to get some stuff done. Our battleship is still back here. I don't know if they took a hit or not. It looks like they got a little bit toasted, but yeah. Just gonna say, we're fine, don't tilt. Remember, the team that tilts first loses. So, they have their bulk freighters here. We can double back and beam them. We'll just call that out, doing little communications like we talked about. We're gonna have the beams clear the D point here. We should have a beamstone over here in a second. Yep, this thing gonna torch into this thing. Come on, pop your alarms. If we have an FPA in it, it should kill this. I believe you'll need 1 FPA at, like, I want to say 4 kilometers. Yeah, this is well within death range of that, so this thing should go down. There's still this obelisk left alive that we have to deal with, but I'm going to do just that now with our attack ping like so. E-sword, obelisk, liner, calling it out like we see them. Anyways, we're moving our way up to C point. I'm hoping there's no mines up here. If there is mines, there's not really much I can do about it anyways. I just have to make this play because we are falling behind on the cap game and got to make it back. Capping. All right, going to try and get that drive back up online now. We have 2 power sources, one being the reactor and one being the drive. Once we get the drive back, we should be able to do something with it. Frontline radar is down. We could repair that, but our coverage is kind of bad anyways, so not really needed. Our battleship here is going to engage onto these Acellos that have just blundered their way into it. See a bunch of torpedoes going out, so battleship is going to make the play to get back the B point since it has been kind of lurking and hiding all game. Well, I say all game, but like recently, because it traded some fire here that did not want. A lot of point defense on these things, seeing some flak and defenders. Interesting combo. We normally see those on something like a, what do you call it, an Axford. Typically seeing hybrid defense coming out. Also, the Pavis is sort of a better defender right now, just due to the way it interacts with things like corkscrew. In this case, seeing a bunch of these hits go off there. Pew, pew. All right, so we're going to force them to stay on the point now by moving in behind them, because they now have to retreat. So they have the choice of either they can stay here and suffer a whole bunch of torpedo backpack, because this thing is going to cripple pretty much all these. I'm now in position perfectly to get onto this. There's a shuttle on the B point. Just gotta call that out. Oop, hang on. Shuttle on B. I do not have anything, unfortunately, to attack it with, as I am... Actually, hang on a second. Yes, I do. Okay, I need the radar, and I also need the antenna. So we're going to need to get that antenna back up online, and also get the radar up. That way I can fire my CMB missiles. I could possibly kill that thing. All right, over on point A, we've managed to make the cap here. Do we have any offensive weapons? Just our fly swatter missile. We don't want to lose that. There's that Gale Spam Acello somewhere on the map still we have to deal with. Edgelord is down here cleaning up these things decently well with the beams. In this case, it gets a little shot first because the target angling. Once this thing adjusts itself, it should be able to roast and toast this. I think that our CLs are pretty... Yeah, they've gotten shredded. I don't think their launchers are going to be intact still. That said, we still have some live beamstones. We are winning this fight over here. This thing just getting completely smacked up. Ooh, what was that? Okay. The A point just went kablooey. I think that was the latte. The Americano is about to also go kablooey, so I'm going to mention that. Actually, we don't have anything threatening it nearby, so we're good. As for you, however, we do need to deal with stuff on the point. I'm going to hope that the guys over here do not have... Okay, we need to also change our heading here. Doing the change heading thing because the main engine is out. We're going to use our side thrusters since they have some more power. Our reverse thrusters are actually looking pretty good, so we'll just flip the ship around and put it in reverse. Yeah, you can see over here, this shuttle is in fact dead. We're going to mark it as killed. These Cellos over here are getting heavily hit. We need to get onto the points now because we are falling further behind, so got to go fast. Hit the flank thrusters since we have the time. Just got to repair whatever we can at this point and hope for the best. When the front line comes up, we'll have radar panels, at least on the top left and the bottom left, so we'll present our left side towards the target, fire our 2 command missiles, and hopefully deal with a shuttle that is trying to skulk around here. And that will be our plan. Yeah. As for you, there is that shuttle. Okay, do you have rockets? You probably have rockets. This could hurt. Okay. I don't know if there's anything I'll be able to tank here, so... Yep. All right, let's just hope for the best. Try and defender this. I'm going to move in reverse here, trying to keep them in arc at all times. Going to swing the nose again, like so. Yeah. This thing's going to try and bank around here. It's firing off its stuff. We still have a singular offensive missile, so as long as we stay on the point, we will hold this. We are down to 2 ships. I'm just going to make the Cortado number 2 now. Thank you. All right. This thing is trying to get onto point here barely, but it's also getting crippled because we have battleship. If we can get ourselves a cap back in this, we will be in the game. D point is a little bit hectic right now. A point still has that Gale Spam Macello, I think. It might have actually rotated down here. Got to call that out. Actually, that's the wrong tag. That's number 8. I didn't even call that the Gale Cello. Yeah. I want to know who's running the Gale Cello because it's like one of those builds that's like either it's a midshipman or it's a Commodore and you're never sure which because midshipman and Commodore builds are literally the exact same thing. The only difference is 1,000 hours. Okay, so we are getting B point here, which is kind of funny because they're just barely off it and because we have just barely enough stuff we were able to get on. There we are. All right, over here on C point, I think this thing used the last of its rockets because it's not fired at us. And guess what? We kept that 1 missile. It's totally worth it. Don't use your fly swatter. We're holding the C point. We might still be in it. Okay, contesting B points, so they just need to knock this thing out. Battleship versus a Cello side on. Once the battleship corrects its heading and stuff, it'll be able to shred this. I was gonna ask. Actually, I think Bones is doing just fine here. Yeah, they've got the angle on this. Never mind. They know what's up. They're reading our mind, doing our thing. So as long as we are able to knock this ship decently well, I'll actually ask them. I keep doing the 8 thing. Gonna ask if they can pause fire on this. Pause fire meaning firing position to try and like knock out the drives with your shots or the CIC. They're only managing 1 ship right now, so they should be able to have the micro, and because this ship is not moving, should be pretty easy. See if we can't get a couple of them flying off to the side there. These aren't that much of a threat to the battleship because the battleship is fairly healthy from what I can tell and just needs to clear the point here and we will get the B. There we are. So this thing, it's not dead, but is inoperative for the moment, and as long as we are able to hang out here, we are good. So yeah. We just need to cap out a little bit more. I can't move off of the A point, unfortunately, or the C point, so I am stuck here. Is that the B point? Yeah. So I just need Bones here to just dive down from like the position they've got. If they sit on the B point, I can then send my Corvette over to the A point, and we can potentially get another cap, winning us the game because we really need to clean up. Yep, their Cello is in fact going on to the E. Gonna confirm that. So we're just trying to ninja this back cap game. We just need this one to be on point. It's unfortunately drafted a little bit top here. It might be too late. They're getting E point. B point is crap again. Yo. Just gonna ask them politely, please kill this Ocello. Yeah! It's so close. It's so close. It's right there. We can see it. I don't know if they can see it. They have it on visuals. They can probably shoot, but that makes really bad accuracy. So they just have to pause fire. No, they're shooting the wrong one. No, the radar panels are out on that side. Ah, dang it. So unfortunately, we won't get the B point here in time. I think they're gonna cap out here. D point we might be able to get. Gonna see this thing getting unfortunately shredded here. We are firing beams on target. A bunch of our ships managing to come back. It's a pretty close one. I'll give them credit. Like the missile Ocello. I know torp cellos are scary. I did not expect that thing. Oh. Look. What if we held hands on C point? Look at this. Oh, that's funny. I need to screenshot this. two little guys holding hands, being friends. It's like, ah. That's really funny. Okay. Unfortunately, I think we made a few mistakes. In my case, I did not properly position my destroyer, and they punished me for that. I decided to dump torps over here instead of on something more useful. We let ourselves get heavily pushed here onto the D point. I probably should have had that like offside radar asset a little bit further below to scout that angle out, because that's fairly common. But yeah. Very close game though. Couple different plays, and we could have definitely pulled that one back. As we see the CLs here, they're still technically alive. We're just not able to get the cap done here. Instead, seeing these bulk raiders just pretty much cleaning up shop on our destroyers, unfortunately. So the Katado is holding point. Cappuccino is doing its things. Yeah, that's really funny. See, just look at it. They're just little guys. Just little guys having fun. You know, just two homies, just like being polite. It's like, hey, how you doing? You can look out the window and just see like the numbers next to the ship. It's like, well, which ship do we have to impound? 1078, sir. Are you absolutely certain? Yes, sir. I'm quite certain. I think I can see it. Cappuccino and the Quello Sara, I think it's called. That's really funny. Anyways, we'll just set this thing. I guess it doesn't really matter what fire orders it has. They're missiles. They don't fire anyways. So yeah, we get onto the B point. In this case, I would be able to then go onto the A point, like burning flank and such, because the battleship is the one to contest here. It could then, in theory, kill off these things before they had gotten under the point. Again, we just misplayed ever so slightly there. If we had thought ahead and I'd seen what the play to make would have been, I would have said, yeah, okay, move the battleship onto B point. It holds that, and then we jump onto A point, and that's that. Yep, we're going to give them the GG. They'll cap out in like 1 or 2 more ticks, and that'll be the game. So yeah. Also going to turn this thing around again because we need to use our thrusters in the opposite direction. So, yep, 1 more tick, and that will be game. I do think that's a very funny game at the very least. So we had much silliness. It goes to show like how a neutral point, like the A point, you can have it go like all roundabout. It's like, okay, they make a play, I make a play. We just have this like really fast knife fight chess match where we try and counter each other like 5 moves ahead. But I did not expect, where was it? Was not that. Yeah, here it is. Zach, just like, this is a weird build, and I kind of like it. It's Gale spam, but it's not Gale spam. It's like, well, I guess it is Gale spam with Stop. Anyways, that's going to be me for today. Fun match. Nice to see the people come out. Yep, Battleship does Battleship damage. I did some numbers. All right, that's going to be all for me. And yeah, I'm just going to find somebody for us to raid, and we'll go from there. Yeah, because I want to pass y'all off to somebody cool. Let's see if anyone is streaming right now. Let's see. Vivi's playing Homeworld, and that's spaceshipy related. We're going to go raid Vivi and whatnot. I have to go pretty much instantly, so we're just going to hop out then. All right. If everyone is ready, just to say hi to her. And yeah, spaceships. I've been NekoboyBlue. You can follow my Twitch and my Twitter, and I guess my YouTube as well. I do silly things there. And yeah, let's go say hi to Vivi. Bye!